I apologize for the earlier technical difficulties, but we were not able to connect. We should mention the...
We on now?
Yep, on now.
All right, so welcome back. We're at the 2023 Men's ICC World Tournament from Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada. Fairlanes, Paul Grant, Dan Castle, Greg Gouillart on Canada Bowling Network. Just underway. Dave McNally for Stars and Strikes, spear 7, and the 9 won't go. David Cooper at a 9 box for Bears Road Bowlarama. The left-handed and the captain gets a 7, 16 through 2. So partial technical difficulties, now back live. Please share with your friends and family. Nothing like the great game of Canada Bowling. McNally dunks it for a 9, 26 through 2, early 10-pin lead for Stars and Strikes. Fenway Academy in first place in Group A, 55 points and 17 losses. We'll just give the points, 55 for Academy, 54 for Academy. They went 24-0 yesterday. So Fenway Academy first at 55, second Academy Lanes 54, third Able Construction 48, fourth Outlaw Rides 40, fifth Mass H 35. Lucky Strike on the outside looking in right now with 34. So now we're starting our match. Second bowlers here. Russ Neely starts off hot with a strike. McNally with a try right over the 10. Would knock him down for a landing. Rather, Chris Drover, rather. McNally bowled first. We're just getting situated here. Chris Drover for Bears Road Bowlarama. From Lower Sackville, originally Cape Breton. He gets a 9 to start his first of 3. So 2 marks already. 1 on the board for Stars and Strikes. Up 11 right now, 36-25. Russ Neely Jr. on a strike. So Lucky Strike in unbelievable lanes. 1 point out of the playoff spot. Top 5 get in. Top seed in each bracket gets a 2-round bye into the semifinals. Drover drives 6. Make it 7. 3-6-10. Spare chance. Neely, first ball on the strike, 5. Team USA right behind, 33 points. Team 2.64 rather, 33 points. Team 2.64, 33 points. Team USA, 32 points. Central Park Lanes, 26. TBD Bowlarama, 24 points. Avon Valley Lanes, 17 points. Oreo Cookie, cream in the middle, wafers on the outside for Drover. Spare for Neely on the strike. 20 through 1, 30 in the ball through 2. What a start. His father, Russ Sr. in the Hall of Fame. Canada Bowling Hall of Fame. Drove a field goal for an 8, 17 through 2. No marks yet for Bears Road Bowlarama. They have just 33, and it's a 23-pin lead plus a ball for Stars and Strikes. Group B, Maria Subs, 56 and 16, 24 yesterday. First place, A+ accounting, 54 and 18, 2 points behind. Hatcheman, Rich Lamoni's Hatcheman, 48-24, third. Fourth, New England Flooring, who Bowlarama will bowl next. 44 points. Kingswood Bulletproof, 43 and 29. We saw them yesterday. Bowlarama here, 42 and 30, just on the outside looking at 1 point out of a playoff spot. Adam Soward drops down 9. Spread eagle plus the 8 for Al Nelson. Bowling Ball Mafia right now on the outside after losing 8 points yesterday to Kingswood Bulletproof. They're 38 and 34. Still have a chance. Prosperity U. We'll see our last match. There's a spare for Adam. Their first mark on the board. Nelson right in the hole. Ouch. Prosperity U. We'll see our next match. 36 and 36. Harry's All-Stars 28. Spikes Chimney Services, who we'll see with Prosperity U. 18 points. Oakland Park 25 points. And Stars and Strikes 9.5 points. A tough 5 for Al Nelson to start his match. So the top 5, Fenway Academy, Academy Lanes, Able Construction, Outlaw Rides, Mass H. For Group A, Group B, Maria Subs, A+ Accounting, Hatcheman, New England Flooring, Kingswood Bulletproof. Bowlarama right here, 1 point out. So anything can happen in these last 2 shifts. On the bonus, 7. Almost 8. It's 2, wiggling 4, and 6 right. 17 through 1, Al Nelson, 8 left, 10 right. Adam Soward, tough 2-1 split, trying to make it 2 marks in a row. He's from Halifax, Nova Scotia, 124 league bowler, high single 198, high triple 450. What a bid. Just 34 years young. Al Nelson, good bid. Couldn't get to the 10. Had him bowling for 12 plus years. 9 blocks, 26 through 2 in the first of 3 on Candlepin Bowling Network. We're at Fairlanes in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada. The men's 2023 ICC World Team Championship qualifying rounds, round 10 of 11. Playoffs to start later this afternoon, round 4:30 local time, 3:30 Eastern time, give or take.
Good morning, Paul. Sorry for
Al Nelson, where did Al get that box?
I'll get it $9 and it's 14 through 2.
All right, welcome Greg Gouillart. The soothing sounds of Greg Gouillart.
Shall I explain the round robin format and such?
Sure.
We have 2 divisions of 12 teams. We're competing for match points. 2 match points for the winner of each game and 2 match points for the winner of the total pinfall, so 8 in total on offer. That's what's determining the standings that Paul shared with you a moment ago.
Stephen Hubbard having a great week. Drills 9. 6 pin left up. Scott Searoyce. Some say Searoyce. It's Searoyce officially. He has a 6-9-10 veteran bowler from Skowhegan, Maine.
Sorry, we're getting that wrong in that case.
Yep. Fair. Hubbard on the board to start his first of 3. Nelson chops out the lemon drop. Does not count the second ball unless you want to give $1. $1 donation optional on the 4 pin left, 6 pin your right. On your first ball, $1 optional for Candlepins for Cancer, $5 and a spare strike, a 501c3 charity for Candlepin bowlers, helping Candlepin bowlers going through cancer treatments. We have WOW shirts available here as Royce gets a 9. And we have Mike Warren's Candlepin calendar to support Candlepins for Cancer also.
Yeah. Searoyce, as in, are you serious, Scott Searoyce, after he went off with the 1-7-10 Hurricanes mixed world, similar team composition.
Yeah.
In that one particular upset match, that was a thriller from Academy
Yes.
Lanes.
Al Nelson put on the show there.
That was the mixed worlds before last at Leda Lanes.
Yes, that was 2022. You should see that on Candlepin Bowling Network. Mixed Worlds Match 3, a must-see match. What a finish by Al Nelson. After a horrible start, pulls it out in dramatic fashion by 1 pin. A must-see one-string match on Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube. 4 in the fill for Hubbard, 14 through 1, 1-6-10. Searoyce 5-7. Early in the first of 3, our first of 2 qualifying rounds. Playoffs, our 3rd match of the day to start the opening round. Searoyce with the wood. Nothing showing. There's a 7 for Hubbard. 21 through 2. Searoyce 9. Scott a pair of 9s to start his first of 3. Scott will be turning 58 in December, early December. Anchor bowlers, Steve Colbert on the right, on lane 14 for Bears Road Bowlarama. They're fighting for their playoff lives. 1 point out. They could sure use 8 points to help them out. Off to the left, got the 4-7-8. From Florida, Tom Pelkey went to Florida recently, up here for the World Tournament. The captain of the team drops down 8, has the 5 right, 8 left, wood to help.
You could start Candlepin in Florida easy at this rate.
Absolutely. Good bid. Oh, so close. Hits the 6. Holds its ground. Pelkey for the wood. Spare. 2 marks to none for Stars and Strikes. They have the lead early. 10 for Colbert. Steve, 46 years young, from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, a 124 league bowler. Not a bad average. 198 high single, high triple 470, high 5 705 on a Woodside Bowlarama. In the pocket, another split. 2 left, 6-10 right. Pelkey on the bonus. In the pocket, he drills 8, 9, 10, strike on spare. What a start. 20 through 1, 30 plus 2 through 2 for the captain, Tom Pelkey. P-E-L-K-E-Y. Trying to sweep it over. He got it. What a shot for a spare. Steve Colbert on the board. 20 in the ball through 2 for Bayers Road Bowlarama. And we go back to the top of the order. The update from the soothing sounds of Greg Gouillart.
There you see it. Here, 18 pin advantage, 5 marks to 3, 4 stars and strikes. Pinning is 2 in their favor. We'll keep an eye on that as the string goes along.
And you can see the yellow markers, which indicate they're on marks, and it shows that what bowler has it. So the case for stars and strikes, the yellow mark second box is the second ball. The fifth one, yellow mark is for the fifth bowler. Nothing like the great game of Candlepin Bowling. Get the word out, folks. Kevin McNally, 26 through 2 has the 1-3-6, 3-6-10 right, 4 left for David Cooper for Bayers Road Bowlarama. Great to see some of our Canadian friends here in action. For a spare, way left. Oh, what a shot that was. Just missed the 4. Nothing wrong with that shot. The 4 pin shaking in his boots. Frightened the pin. Object hit, only 1 for an 8 for McNally. Kevin's at 34 through 3, and a 9 for David Cooper, 25 through 3, looking for his first mark for Bayers Road Bowlarama. Dave bowled for 27 years. He said it looked like fun when he wanted to start bowling, so he started bowling, and bowling ever since. His first world appearance in 2015. His hobbies, Candlepin Bowling. He's got his priorities right. He has a diamond. Right side, Kevin McNally. A rearranged 1 4 horseman in front, 1-3 rearranged 6 pin. Say 6.5 and 10, 9 behind. And for a shot for a spare, he's got it. His second mark. 44 in the ball through 4. 4's a wild. But Kevin McNally for Stars and Strikes out of South Paris, Maine. And a great owner in Russ and Jody Neely here in attendance. Russ bowling right now next. Cooper, 9. 43 through 4. It's all Stars and Strikes early on. They have 3 marks to 1 in their favor, up 18. And Bowlarama. Bowlarama fighting for their playoff lives. Only 1 point out of the spot right now. Russ Neely in the pocket. He gets 7. Make it 8. 6-10 spare chance on a spare after a strike. 38 plus 2. 38 through 2, rather. Chris Drover goes right. He steals a bunch. He has the 1-7-8 wood to work with. And Chris, a great bowler. 125 league bowler. 126 his best season average. As nearly the one got away for 3 in a row. This guy's really good, Chris Drover, on lane 13 for a spare. Will it take the right turn? No, it took a wrong turn. It finally went right turn Clyde. Wanted to go left that time. It would coming out of play as Neely gets a 9, 47 through 3. What a start for him. Chris Drover from Lower Sackville, Maine, Cape Breton originally. 196 high single, high triple, 448. The 39-year-older trying to lead his team into the playoffs. Bowled for 25 plus years. His father was a bowler also. He's got the it factor for Bowlarama. And he drills it for a 10, 27 through 3 in the first of 3 strings. First of 3 matches today on Candlepin Bowling Network. Greg, how can they get Candlepin Bowling Network?
Just by finding us on Facebook or YouTube. Candlepin Bowling Network. Like and follow on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss our next broadcasts as well, including the remaining we have all this week.
Neely strike again. His second strike of the first. 3 marks. 57 plus 2 through 4. Wow. He had a 141 his first match the tournament. So I told him he's going to get a 141 today. He's on his way. Chris Drover goes right, steals 7. 1, 2, 4, not a bad leave. Looking for his first mark here in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada at Fairlanes. He went side, but Wood took it. Take it while you can. On the board, 37 the ball through 4th. Chris Drover for Bowlarama from Bayers Road.
The scorpion tail kick.
The marks are 3-2 for Stars and Strikes. They're up 25 in the string. Dan Castle will call middle string. Adam Soward on the left. Al Nelson, the foodie. He loves to post about food. He likes to eat, make. He's not a chef, though. I told him he should have his own podcast, though. He has a 4-2 split, 1-2-4 for Adam. Now from Gardner, Maine. Good bid, will it go? Almost. He's up to 10. Adam for a spare off the wall, wraps around the 2 somehow. Nelson gets the 10. 5, 9, 10 to go in the right direction. 24 through 3, 9 for Adam Soward. 26 through 3. Fourth box, first string. Nelson, 1, 3, 6, 7. Adam avoids the lemon drop, gets the 6, 10 right. The lemon drops the 6 pin on your right, 4 pin on your left. First ball, $1 for Candlepins for Cancer. Bowl is 501c3 charity, 5 on a spare strike. Nelson, good bid. A good bid there by Adam. He does not connect. Open in Canada means you're working on a fill. Open in the States means you didn't get a spare strike in that box. Al Nelson gets the 10, 34 through 4. And 9 for Adam, 44 through 4. Talk about the substitution policy if you could, Greg, when you get a chance.
Substitutions can only be made before the halfway point in a string and not on a mark.
Okay. Scott Searoyce for Stars and Strikes. 18 his first 2. Stephen Hubbard a spare 4 and a 7, 21 through 2. And Searoyce trying to go backdoor help gets a 4 horseman check mark. With the 3 pin on the right, 1, 2, 4, 7. Middle left. Spread eagle plus the 9 for Hubbard. Returning 28 in December. Searoyce 2 and the 7. 118 league bowler, 125 his best year. Out of Brunswick Lanes, Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Over 20 years, family got him involved. Chops up the object pin, 1, ouch. 2 pin. Searoyce a 9, 27 through 3. Stevens high single 182, high triple 455, high 5 657. He'll take a rare 7, 28 through 3 with a mark. 2 7s in a row, unlike Steven. Scott Searoyce, a beast in his day. A 223 high single twice as he gets a half Worcester. He has a 200 also. For a strike, he gets all 10. That's more like Stephen Hubbard. Second mark, 38 plus 2 through 4.
Yeah, that's right.
Searoyce 1479. He's got a 127 bowler from 4 different leagues once upon a time. Now a 118 league bowler, still at a high level at 57 years young. That's a 6, 33 through 4.
It ain't worlds until you get a bunch of men high-fiving and yelling at each other. The energy is at an all-time high here in this world-class bowling competition.
They'll get louder and louder as the weekend goes on. Please support Candlepin Bowling this holiday season, all season long. Please consider Candlepin gift cards a great way to get friends and family involved. Support your local bowling centers. Invest in Candlepin Bowling, the gift that keeps on giving. It's a great stocking stuffer, but for all occasions. Both on marks. Pelkey, strike, double strike, wow! Stephen Colbert, 7 in the spare, 27 through 2 in the first of 3. 9 right, 4, 7 left. Have to doink this wood over somehow. And Tom Pelkey, fresh back from Florida, on fire here in the first of 3. With the wood, the ball hits the wood, it won't go. What a try. That was a tough shot. Steve gets the 10.
7 in the fill, 10 in the box, excuse me.
So 27 through 2, 37 through 3. Our first of 3 matches. One more qualifying round next. It's going to be Prosperity U and Spike's Chimney Services next on Candlepin Bowling Network, followed by the opening round playoffs. Then tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock local time, Atlantic time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Quarterfinal start, then semis and finals. Pelkey for 3 in a row for triples. The triple strike bid is 7 in the first ball. Strike bid, he's got it! Steve Colbert strike. 47 plus 2 through 4. Pelkey's 7 that first double strike box. 57 for the spare double strike. Just missed. 9 the second one. How about 66 through 4? The power of the double strike. 10, solid pinning. 7, what's that, 66, 76? 66, we'll get it right. 76 is right. How about 76 through 4? That's amazing. Update from Greg Gouillart in just a moment. Go back to the top of the order. Paul Grant, Dan Castle, Greg Gouillart on Candlepin Bowling Network. 2023 ICC Men's World Championships team competition on Candlepin Bowling Network. Over 850 videos in climbing, never a charge, always free. Please subscribe to Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook as well. Never miss a ball. David Cooper, the left-hander, half Worcester. Looking for his first mark. Kevin McNally on his second fill. 7, 51 through 4, 136. Try to work out this jam. Good bid, will it go? Oh, the wood twizzles and sizzles, but it won't go. McNally, Oreo cookie, cream in the middle, left the wafers on the outside. $10 for David Cooper, the captain, in the leadoff spot, 44 half. He's going to keep himself in. And way left is McNally. Kevin, 8, 59 half. It's all stars and strikes of 49. Plenty of time left. The marks favor Bayers Road Bowlarama 3-1. So plenty of time left. They were awesome yesterday, going 22-2. In day 1, they were 12-2, 8-16. Day 1, then day 2, they're 8-16. Yesterday, just a great day. Cooper 1, 2, 7, 8. McNally 1, 3, 8, 9. For a spare, way right. That one got away.
Third ball is coming up for each, and all scores are confirmed as you see them. They are unofficial until announced otherwise, but of course they are official at this time. $9 for McNally and an 8 for Cooper. It brings up Russ Neely Jr. on a strike and Chris Drover on a spare.
Gentleman buying a second WOW shirt here from Canada today. Thank you very much. Support Candlepin for Cancer. That one got away too. Got the 7-pin. Russ Neely having a great start. He's on a strike. 8 in that first ball. 4-7 spare chance. Nearly 700 WOW shirts sold, helping 13 families right now, soon to be 14. All bowls and their relatives going through cancer treatments. What a shot! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! The 9, 3/4 down. Now it does go! Got the extra bump! Spare! What a shot for Chris Drover. Drove it into the ground in slow motion. Needed that one. 48 in the ball through 5. Nearly 8 in the strike. 65 through 4. 8 in the box. 73 half. It's getting louder and louder. What a great shot by Chris Drover for Bayers Road, Bowlarama. Their team's down 55. They got 3 marks to none in their favor, but they're on the move. He's feeling it, but that one got away right. Just 3. 51 half. Russ Neely Jr., the owner of Stars and Strikes in South Paris, Maine. A beautiful 14-lane facility. Highly respected in the game, a great guy, a class act. What a shot that was! It goes! Do it the hard way, a 5-2 split, 2 in a row. And a spare for Neely to match. Great bowling here in the first of 3 matches. Nearly 83 in the ball through 6, wow. And Chris Drover, 61 of the ball through 6. But Stars and Strikes up 52.
It's 9 marks to 8 right now, but bonus ball quality is a bit of a struggle for Bowlarama at the current moment, which is why Stars and Strikes is running away with a big lead at the moment.
Adam Saward, 4 horsemen plus the 8. 44 his first 4. Al Nelson just 34 his first 4. Mike Chase injured, not able to bowl today.
Not to mention Tom Pelkey's double. That's a big one.
Aaron Basford off the bench, possible if they need him. So they have 6 men left on their rotation. 1-8-9, correction, 1-8-10 for Saward. Nelson hooked right, 1-3-8. Russ Neely Jr. on a great run. 10 for Adam, 54 half. Al Nelson grabs 1 for an 8, 42 half. So it looks like everyone's staying in. Looks like no lineup changes.
Now before the halfway point is the last chance to do it.
Bayers Road Bowlarama, awesome all day yesterday, and they're starting a little flat today, but plenty of time left. They'll want to get all 8 points if they can, at least 6 if they can. A hay bale, that's the diamond plus the 10 for Adam. About a 31% clip for conversions for average Class A bowler without wood. Stats by Canada from Bowling Network. Same thing for Al Nelson. Good bid, won't go, 6 and 10. Al Nelson has a 201 game himself in his illustrious career, as he missed right, leaving up the 3 and 5. Has a 112 covering average, a 128 average during his glory days. A very good bowler. And still bowled at a high level as Adam gets a 10, 64 through 6. And Al matches with a 10, 52 through 6. Canada Bowling Network's presentation of the men's ICC World Team Championships on Canada Bowling Network. From Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada, with Fairlanes, Paul Grant, Dan Castle, Greg Gouillart. Dan Castle will call our middle string. A lot on the line here for Bayers Road Bowlarama. 1 point out of the 5th and final spot for the playoff. Stephen Hubbard, tall right-hander. On the half whistle, gets a bunch, gets 5. Scott Searoyce, parallel pins, plus the 8, 5 standing. Wood behind the 3 to help the sleeper pins and back. For a spare, missed inside, leaves up number 1. That's on a strike though, 47 through 4. Al Nelson leaves up the 1 and the wobbling 8.
Third ball's coming up. For Searoyce, he's got a 9 to match that of Hubbard's.
All right, so Hubbard at 56, halfway through the first of 3. Scott Searoyce, 42 halfway through the first of 3. Stephen, 182 high single again, high triple 455, high 5, 657. Steve with a PH. Drills the pocket on the crossover. The 6 goes, got a break. 7 pin, trying to push for a strike, won't go. Searoyce pushes down the 4 on the legal block in the back. 6-10, spare chance. Crucial match here for Bowlarama. right on it. Spare. 66 to ball through 6 for Stephen Hubbard.
Stevens third.
Searoy's to answer. Off the wall, got it. Matching spare. 52 and a ball through 6 in the first of 3. Tom Pelkey on the left, Steve will call him, Steve Colbert on the right. He's on a strike for Bayers Road, Bowlarama in the blue. They have 3 marks to 2 advantage, but they're down a stunning 41 pins. But still have time left. They've got to get some marks. A double would be huge. The 124 league bowler for double would go. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Hands on knees, come on. That was a solid anchor shot as any.
How close can you get to a double than that? Pelkey 5 down, 5 to go. 4 horsemen plus the 8 behind the 2.
I've heard it said from pin setter extraordinaire Scott Moore. The pins aren't always set correctly.
Spare on strike. 57 through 4. 67 to ball through 5. Pelkey is spare. He's on fire. Had a double strike earlier. Another mark. 86 half plus 1. Wow.
Sometimes there's little deviations in how the pins come down, so sometimes it's not always there, and of course the pins will do whatever they want in the end.
Pelkey picking those pins apart, fresh from Florida. On the bonus, head pin at 7. He wills down the 2-pin. 3-6-10, spare chance, 74 half. Pelkey goes right. Not a bad leave. 1, 2, moving 4-pin, and the 9. 92 half. Unbelievable, you could say. And the Oreo cookie, not a good time for an Oreo cookie, Greg. Although you would like an Oreo cookie right now. Left away from the outside, got the cream in the middle.
I'm still stuffed from the banana splits from yesterday.
That's the 4-7 or 6-10, I call it, I believe. Pelkey just leads up number 1. In the Century Club in the 6th box, first string. And nothing there for Steve Colbert. 9, 83 through 6. The best bowlers in the world are here in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada at Fairlanes, the World Tournament. Pelkey, 9, 101 through 6. As Darth Vader would say, most impressive.
Certainly. As this score update flashes up and we see a huge discrepancy, although 30 pins is still manageable at this point, I want to take a moment to acknowledge a moment of silence we had before the stream went live for victims and victimized families of Lewiston, Maine, after the terrible attacks, including at Just-in-Time Recreation Center. Here in Center, we're actually raising money, as have many other initiatives across the Candlepin community taking place, including one that we'll mention in just a moment. But either way, I know the events are, they were in the past few weeks, and our hearts are with you always.
Thank you, Greg, for sharing that. It's a tough one still. $7,000 raised, a big 20 in Scarborough, Maine last Saturday. 42 teams, generous hearts. It was awesome. ICBA donated $1,000. Candlepins for Cancer donated $1,000 also. Back to live action. Let's get Greg a couple of minutes to do play-by-play here. Oh, as the Lewiston thing is a tough one. Greg.
Just the third ball coming up here. Kevin McNally gets an 8-box. And a 9-box for David Cooper. If you count Tom Pelkey's strike twice, it's basically 12 marks to 10. That's a good hit by Kevin. Has a 9-drop. David Cooper splits 3 and 2. Chance for Stars and Strikes to grow the advantage. McNally may have found a range. His try just far left. Down the middle for Cooper. So McNally couldn't find the range on that remaining pin, but still picks up 2 in the process. 9 plays 7.
Thanks, Greg. Buckets here for Lewis Domain here at the desk by our WOW shirts and Mike Warren's Candlepins for Cancer calendars. Stop by and buy a calendar or WOW shirt and donate to Candlepins for Cancer and or the Lewiston Fund as well. Right here at Fairlanes, Moncton runs with Candlepins tomorrow.
Yep, both sorts of dollars stacking up in the tin can.
Russ Neely, 179. Chris Grover, 3-6 right, 4-7 left on the spare. 67 through 6. Russ Neely, 7 on his fill. 90 through 6. Missed right.
2 strikes and 2 spares will do that in a hurry for Neely Jr.
Drover tried to go into that 3-6 pocket, went right, got the 6. Leads down to 32 right now, though. Straza strikes in the lead as Neely gets an 8. A great score, 98 through 6 through 7. 98 through 7. That's a great score in the 7th box, Greg. 9 for Drover, 76 through 7.
Stars and Strikes is firing really strong from both Neely and Pelkey, carrying the team big time.
And a pretty good lead. It's down to 31, each side with 1 hit. Neely goes right. 1, 2, 8, 9. Wooden front angled. Chris Drover crossing over, strike! What a shot, he's all fired up! 86 plus 2 through 8, what a bomb by Chris Drover for Bayers Road, Bowlarama. Neely won't go, 8 and 9.
Drover had a 6 fill on his last spare. The bonuses are looking up, and this strike is sure to be even bigger than that, you'd reckon.
Russ, nice 10. 108 through 8. What a performance by Russ Neely Jr.
What an interesting way to make that 10. I think the ball took the right-hand pin and the wood drove back to take the left-hand pin. I did not expect it to take the bounce it did.
Bayers Road knows they need this match. They got a tough one coming up next.
On their Instagram, I heard it.
Standing sheets are right here. Bring it back afterwards, please.
I've heard it stylized Bowlarama Bayers Road in that order, so that's why I've written it that way on the score sheet. Val Nelson, big hit, 9.
Look for his first mark, 52 through 6.
He's looking to get the engine started.
Adam Saward for a strike, he's got it! Their team has 2 strikes in a row.
Equalizing the strike count now, it's 4-4.
1 for Chris, 1 for Adam, 74 plus 2 through 7. Here comes Bayers Road, Bowlarama, and Al Nelson on the board with his first mark. 62 in the ball through 7. How big is this match for Bayers Road? 1 point out of the final spot in the second to last qualifying round. Playoffs later today, this afternoon on Candlepin Bowling Network, on Facebook and YouTube. Nelson on the extra session. Slices and dices, but won't carry down that 4 horseman. 4 in the fill, 66 through 7. Adam Saward, first ball on the strike. 2-1 split, 6 right, 2-4 left.
Can't take Stars and Strikes for granted. Sure, they had a shocking start and won't be making the playoffs, but it seems as though they've found the formula to start putting some strings together, as evidenced by the score.
Nelson hit the head pin. Look at that. Wow. That's a bad wow.
That's what the third ball's for.
Hit your head pin like that. Perfect shot. A bullseye shot. Nothing to show for it. Adam, what a try that was.
Ooh.
Just missed the 6. Not by much.
Just behind.
Couple of close calls for Bowlarama on those splits. 9 to strike. 83 through 7. It's into the 20s now. Like the temperature outside. Nighttime here. He gets a 10. Al gets an 8. Al 74 through 8.
Oh, 20 degrees. That's not a bad day, hey?
Adam Saward.
What? I've lost my mind here. 9 fill and a 10 box for Saward, right?
Yep. So 83 through 7. 10, 93 through 8. So all of a sudden, is that right? 16? That can't be right. 24.
That's it.
24, that makes more sense. Al Nelson breaks up the eagle nicely. Scott Searoyce rather up now. Scott Searoyce, 2-4-7 as we fix our scoreboard here. And Stephen Hubbard with a spread eagle -1. Looking at the 2-4-7 left. On the right side is the 6 and 10.
Yeah.
Here in the first of 3 strings on Candlepin Bowling Network. Playoffs to start later this afternoon, our 3rd match of the day. Our final match, Prosperity U and Spike's Chimney Services, 2 Canadian teams head-to-head. And Prosperity U in the running for a playoff spot just on the outside looking in at 500. Searoyce a spare. 69 to the ball through 7. Option pit now, here we go, Greg. Here we have it. A banana split.
It's too early in the morning for that.
Nothing like a good old-fashioned banana split.
I'm sure Steven's mileage might vary.
78 through 7 for Stephen Hubbard. His team right now is down. The marks are even 1 apiece. It's a 29-pin lead for Stars and Strikes. What was it, 60 or so, Greg? 59, something like that? 1 point, the 50 somewhere.
Yep, the lead's been reduced.
Searoyce in the pocket, 8. 2 left, 5 right. 77 through 7. 7's a wild for Scott Searoyce for Stars and Strikes. Off the right half, what's this? Scott Searoyce again, 4 200 games a square, 3 200 games a square, 223 twice, a 200, high triple 496, high 5 775, and a high 10 of 1459. Did in Rockland, Maine. Was a Newport Entertainment Center, Newport, Maine. Used to be 1710. Leads up to 2. Hubbard 1, 2, a bunch go down to the back. Scott started at age 12 in a school league. As he gets a 10, 87 through 8. The 118 league bowler, Stephen Hubbard, in 8, 86 through 8.
Good job not hitting the button too soon, though. Could have mattered.
One point out of the playoffs is Bears Royal Bowlarama, fighting to get ahead of Kingswood Bulletproof, New England Flooring. And they're going to bowl New England Flooring next, so they got a chance to control their destiny. Tom Pelkin, a hot start, 9. Steve Colbert trying to get to the mark. 1-3-6, spare chance. These go about 50, just over 50% of the time for the average pro bowler without wood. Stats by Candlepin Bowling Network. Pelkey for another mark. Missed it. And missed left. Colbert not happy with that shot. They could have used that one. They're down 39. 1 hit to none in their favor.
A long ways to go, but not impossible. Stack some strikes and spares, and this could change.
And there's the Paul Grant special. Missed the second, make the third for Tom Pelkey. And the same thing, the Paul Grant special. Missed the second, make the third for Steve Colbert. And he's furious. Always easy the second time around. Tom Pelkey, 111 through 7. Colbert, 93 through 7. 1-3-6-5-9 for Pelkey. 2-4-7, 6-10 right for Steve Colbert. Pelkey hooks right, 1-5-9. Steve Colbert enjoys Candlepin bowling, camping, spending time with his family. Won the ICC once before.
Another slice behind for Bowlarama.
41 years of bowling, his family got him involved. Terrific bowl, the 124 average. Pelkey an 8, 119 through 8, 10 for Colbert. Steve's at 103 through 8. Final 2 boxes. Can Bowlarama get the first 2 points? They got an uphill battle. They're down 37 in the string in the first of 3. One more qualifying round next on Candlepin Bowling Network. It's Prosperity U and Spike's Chimney Services, 2 Canadian teams head to head. And then the first round playoffs start later this afternoon, sometime after 4:30 local time, 3:30 Eastern time, give or take. Live on Canal Bowling Network tomorrow morning. Same start time, 9 o'clock local Atlantic, 8 o'clock Eastern. The quarterfinals followed by the semis and the finals, all live on Canal Bowling Network. So make sure you follow us on Facebook, like, share, subscribe on YouTube to Candlepin Bowling Network. Never a charge, always free. That's Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube. Thank you. David Cooper having a tough start. Diamond plus the 10, that won't be easy. Kev McNally goes right, he gets 4. Stars and Strikes on the left up 37, down 1 mark. Payers Road needs some marks. McNally 1-5 sent to Worcester. Object Pin got the 2 for a 9. Only 77 through 9. McNally an 8, 93 through 9. 36 pin lead for Stars and Strikes from South Paris, Maine. Can they hang on? Payers Road 12-12 the first day. 8-16.
All scores confirmed.
In day 2, and 22-2 yesterday, but not the start they're hoping for right now, but they still have a shot. They have 1 mark on the board to none, down 36. And Cooper, the captain, could use a mark here. The left-hander crossing over, that looks good. A middle triangle, 5 middle, 9 right, 8 left. Kev McNally goes left, he has the 1, 3, 6, 7. Given a 120 league bowler, 125 best season average, 193 high single, high triple 463, high 5 696. Parents got him involved 40 years ago. Just missed the spare chance. Mixed double state champion in 2001. State team championship in 2001, also a state record. A 21.55 for his team. 9 for David Cooper. Disappointing 86 opening string.
Yeah, he was looking skyward after that one.
Kev McNally had a good start, slow finish, but 101 opening string for the 120 league bowler. 35 pin lead for Stars and Strike, 8 boxes to go. The only mark on the board for either side is right now from Chris Drover. He's on a strike and could use a double right now. 86 plus 2. Russ Nealon had a great string of 108 right now through 8 completed. Double strike bid, no.
That would have been the fastest way. Crossovers leave kings, though.
5-8-9 triangle, 7 left. Working on a strike on lane 14. Russ Neely Jr. with a 2-2 split.
Happened to David, happened to Chris.
2-4 left, 3-6 right. Drover could use it somehow. That would be huge. Second ball on the strike, missed left. 8 in the fill. 94 through 8 cuts the lead to 27 in the match for Stars and Strikes. Neely, what a try. Chris, a 115 league bowler, 126, his best season ever. Gets a 10, 104 through 9. And Neely answers with a 10 of his own, 118 through 9. Russ Sr.'s father in the Candlepin Bowling Hall of Fame. Russ averaging up as high as 117 in his career, 184 high single, high triple 418, high 5 667. Was in the military for 5 years as a Navy fire control chief. Chance here with the 1-3 for Drover. They could use a mark. They're down 27 late in the first. Neely breaks up the reverse triangle. 5 left, 6 right. Wood to possibly help.
Not sure that wood in front of the 5 is going to connect to the 6, but what do I know? Could be, maybe right tip.
Drover, much needed spare. Split the uprights. Big spare in the 10th. 114 the ball. Huge. Enjoys racing, stock cars, and golfing.
Al Nelson out to conference.
Chris Drover from Lower Sackville. The 196 high single, high triple, 448. Turning 40 next year. Trying to help Bears Road Bowlarama hang in there for a playoff spot. They might need some help.
Maybe it's not outlandish to try and slam the wood behind the 6 off the wall. They are lively here at Fairlanes, Moncton, New Brunswick. That's the play. And he almost got the propeller hit.
That's good news for Bears Road. They have the only mark on the board. But nearly a 10 and a solid 128. First string for Russ Neely Jr., the owner, with his wife Jody Neely of Stars and Strikes. Stars and Strikes, South Paris, Maine.
Yes, that's right. 3 straight 10 boxes on the end to build a solid foundation underneath the 2 strikes and 2 spares he already had. Great string.
Chris Drover can cut that huge deficit as low as 17 with a strike on spare. He crosses over, he gets 8. And it's down to the teens, 9. Nice finish, 1, 2, 3, 123 for Chris Drover for Bears Road Bowlarama here at Moncton.
I was ballyhooing his bonuses earlier, but they kept going up the line, 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, and it turns into a great solid string to match that of Russ.
The lead is down to 18 for Stars and Strikes, 6 boxes to go. No marks on the board. Adam Soward for strike, he gets 9, and a wiggle on the 10.
A lead that could disappear in as few as 2 marks.
Al Nelson steals 8, the head pin goes. 8 left, 9 right, Wood to help. Wood coming out of play.
Double wood, I believe that right piece is covering.
That's rolling back. For a spare. No, you're going to be kidding me. A roadblock.
The double wood did stymie him.
Ball still hitting it. It goes! Unbelievable! Wow! What a break! Wow! Unbelievable! Or in Canada, unbelievable. What a shot for a spare. Merry Christmas, Adam Soward. How about that, folks? Take a video of that.
I mean, he hit his shot at the pin. Come on.
103 in the ball as the world turns into the 10.
Possible deadwood retrieval on Al Nelson's side.
A timely spare for Adam Soward for Bears Road Bowlarama, trying to come back from a huge deficit in the 50s. And if Al Nelson does not convert, they can cut the deficit into single digits with 3 boxes to go. Nothing like the ICC Men's World Team Tournaments.
This double wood could stymie Nelson.
And that won't go. That's good news for Bears Road Bowlarama.
Unless this rolls back, no. But that other piece of wood's going to block it up. So that is exactly where we stand. The mark has to be filled, but that's a big momentum swing.
Al gets the 10. 84 through 9. 3 boxes to go in the first of 3 strings. Playoffs to follow later this afternoon. 1 more qualifying round after this match. Prosperity U, Spikes Chimney Services. 18-pin lead for Stars and Strikes. A spare, the only one for Adam Soward. Could use a strike to cut it to as low as 8.
If you're catching those war whoops, that's Josh Riopel from Mass H.
Crossing over, 6. 5, 8, 7. The 10 goes again. Without the ball this time. 5, 8, 9. It's down to 11. Nelson for strike. Weeble and wobbling 9. A wiggle on the 4. Here we go again down the stretch.
Oh, is that piece of wood going to get there? I think it's going to nudge out of the way and give Nelson a clear shot.
110 through 9 for Soward. Another one. Oh, this time won't go. Where's the ball? You need it.
Too thin on the object. Very harsh to say. It was
Nelson,
in the area.
Spare to stop the bleeding. 94 on the ball in the 10th. Clutch. 10 for Soward, 120 first string. What a battle here in Moncton at Fairlanes.
Pending this fill, there should be at least a 2-mark lead again, with now just 4 boxes remaining for each side.
You want to see a clutch performance? This great bowler, Al Nelson. Watch Mixed Worlds Match 3 from 2022. Unbelievable finish by Al Nelson for the 117 Hurricanes. On the bonus, strike! Strike on spare! Almost like the Mixed Worlds. Wow, what a finish, 104. Al Nelson comes through again. What else is new? And his team all of a sudden goes up by 21. 2 boxes to go. And Hubbard, now, is it 4 boxes to go?
4 boxes
4
to
boxes
go.
to go.
21 pins. It could still be 2 marks. Who's to say Stars and Strikes will pin out perfectly, but.
So 4 boxes to go, make it. Stephen Hubbard needs some marks. 86-8, only 4. Scott Searoyce bowls at Al Nelson quite a bit. Doubles partners. And these two are great giants in their day. For a spare, no. 2-4-9. What a great run by Bayers Row Bowlarama, but it might fall short. They're still not on it yet. Searoyce 2-4. And how big is the pinning now, Greg? 10's up huge now. Hubbard, nice 10 on the 2-1 split. 96-9. Searoyce 10, 97-9. Now 3 boxes to go. 21 pin lead for Stars and Strikes on the left. Looking for the upset. Bayers Row 1 point out of a playoff spot right now in round 10 of 11. Hubbard needs a mark. 7, 179. Won't be easy. Half west of a Searoyce.
That could cause a pinning headache.
He's got multiple titles. State singles titles, state doubles, state teams twice, won Can-Am twice. Pulled a 181 on TV in Augusta, Maine. Won many TV bowling shows in Augusta and Saco, Maine.
Uh-oh.
And that won't go. That's a tough break.
Yeah. Nope, this could swing pins. This could still be 2 marks into the last 2 boxes.
And Searoyce got to stop watching my videos, and the half west to put in the same spot twice.
That's what I'm saying.
9 for Hubbard. Tough string, 105 for the 118 league bowler, 125 his best season.
That's it.
Nice up. Scott will take a 7 out of that mess. 104 first string. Now 2 boxes to go.
Late pin spill keeps it a 20 pin. Ergo, we expect Steve Colbert to need 2 marks.
Bowlarama needs to take at least 6 points here to help their cause. And they got, I believe, New England flooring next, if I'm not mistaken. We're not going to be covering that one, obviously, but we have Prosperity U and Spike Chimney Services our next broadcast.
Steve already had a strike spare. It was darn near a double strike, as you recall. Pelkey got that extra pin to spill for his double strike.
How big is that? On the crossover, he takes down 9. A chance here for a spare with a 7 pin. Pelkey having a great string. Slowing down a little bit the last couple of boxes, back to earth. 119 through 8 coming in, gets 4. And how big is this spare? This is huge. Colbert got it! 113 the ball in the 9th. Pelkey, way right. Center diamond. Al Nelson coming through big time as usual. Down the stretch for Stars and Strikes. Pelkey, nice 9. That's big pins. 128 through 9. The lead is 19. A strike can make it pretty close to even. Pending the fills. 19 pin lead for Stars and Strikes. The only mark is a strike here from Steve Colbert for Bayers Row Bowlarama.
Strike's the fastest way to do it. The 09 drop is perfectly fine. He needs to come up big, Steve does.
Double strike could win it for him.
Oh, jeez.
Look at that. He's got wood to help, though.
That's
2, 4,
not
6
bad.
right.
That's not bad. He might need some help, though.
Pelkey gets a mark. He'll clinch it. The first 2 points. Only the 6, 9, 10.
Nope, this needs to be pinned.
Right now, lead is 12 for Stars and Strikes. Final box of the first of 3.
A 7 box puts him in danger of losing the lot for Pelkey.
Needs to have any chance of the string. Can he get it? No! And Stars and Strikes hang on, get the first 2 points.
Yes, they do.
What a string. Bayers Row, a heartbreaking loss. Pelkey, a diamond. But the total's close. The Bowlarama hit the reset button for the next string. 10. Steve Colbert, 130, first string. What a performance. Pelkey, 8. How about a 136 strong first string?
That one's going to need a deeper statistical scrub. What an interesting and quirky match that was. Came down to a 10-pin nail-biter. I mean, let's confirm the scores, 574 to 564, and let's turn it over to Dan. Paul, I'll just drop the levels now, and you can turn the mic over, and we'll get set for the second string in just a moment. Yep. Stand by while we get set. Dan, I'll turn your levels up. So I understand the first bowler is being substituted for Bowlarama?
That's right. Ryan is coming in for David Cooper, and let me get his last name. He told me, and my memory fails me. And I do not see a sheet on him.
McNally takes aim. He takes out 3. Well,
We need a first name. First name, sorry. All right, Dan Castle here. Bonjour, mon ami.
McNally spills that.
Okay, so Dennis Ryan substituting for David Cooper on the Bowlarama team. And I'm in my seat. I'm ready to go here, Greg. Got it. Okay. And we have somebody down getting wood. That gives me a chance to get a little settled in and catch up with Greg here. Good to see everybody here on Candlepin Bowling Network. Game 2 of 3. Stars and Strikes versus the Bowlarama team. Bowlarama in the blue shirts, Stars and Strikes in the gray shirts with their names. And so this would be Dennis Ryan.
Tripped on the wood on that 2-pinner. He's not thrilled with that.
And twice he goes by it, and the ball return takes the brunt of his frustration. So an 8-box for Dennis Ryan. But he used his hands, not his feet. I don't know which is a better choice.
That's a gentle smack. You want to be gentle with the equipment, but he knows.
He does. These guys are pros. He had to get it out, though. It's important. First ball on the spare.
I mean, that's a very natural human thing. You know, sometimes you just have that angry energy pent up in front of you. Taking it out on the pins is always a good choice.
Well, when you have a shot like that to make, there's 7 on the fill for Kevin McNally on the right. You know, he had a 6-10 there that looked pretty easy to make, and it is for these guys generally to get that. Most of the time they will. And there's a spare for Ryan. McNally still has the 7-pin standing.
Yeah.
And still up there. So while they're switching bowlers, I have to give a shout out to Elena Esdale, Dan Esdale's wife from Harry's All-Stars, because she was kind enough last night to bake some pastries, and Rob Linehan handed them to me this morning, and they're hit up here in the booth, hidden away from Paul. We'll share with Paul.
Apart from the fact that we've shared it out there in the public now, so the evidence is out there.
Oh, you got to get into the booth, gang. Good luck with that.
Well, as long as we're making our hundreds of viewers jealous, what are these?
So thank you, Elena. Appreciate it very much. It's very kind of you.
What are they?
Russ
Neely drops 9.
Oh, they look like an apple cinnamon yummy thing.
Delicious. Spread Eagle, Chris Drover.
So we'll be digging into those shortly. And Neely with a mark. Drover, good comeback on the spread eagle. Pick up the first 3. Most of the time we're going to want to take it 1 at a time.
Well, my prediction of we'd see a spread eagle make is coming very untrue at the moment.
And is that Drover? I'm not sure it is on the Bowlarama team. Is that? Or did they have a sub? They didn't tell us about another sub.
Oh, have we swapped down for Dennis Ryan? Hang on a second.
No, Dennis Ryan is in the first position.
Then why do I see his name
Well, they come back and tell us when they have a sub, so I haven't heard anything on that. But all right, so Neely punches out to the left, but he gets a couple of bonus pins on that, and still has 6 up. On the other side.
No, there's no way that's Chris Drover. You're absolutely right. Excuse me.
And the bowler unidentified to us at the moment. Picked up a spare for the Bowlarama team. And Neely with the 9-box. Neely was on a spare. Yes, he put up 4 in the spare. And then a 9-box. There you go. Good job.
There we go.
Keeping with it, guys. All right, let me see if I can see comments on here.
Or if I could flag Paul. Al Nelson
puts down a good ball and drops 7.
Yep, that's Adam Stammet there. This should be Adam Soward.
And yep, Soward is the 3rd bowler. And he put a healthy 8 drop down with a 4-7. Nelson with a nice spare. Soward misses on carrying anything over to the 7-pin, so he'll have an open box this frame. And now Soward trying to make a 10-box. And do we have the...
Let me pop on YouTube as well and just see if we can get any help there. Otherwise, I'm going to need...
Yep, I don't see anything on Facebook at the moment. The viewership is a little light there, but it's been pretty heavy on YouTube.
Yeah, so Chris Drover was first. And
oh, this is Nelson. Or Ryan, I'm sorry.
I'm going to quickly make a switch here. We have the first and second turned around, basically.
Okay, so there we go. Sorry about that, folks and bowlers and families at home. A lot of bowlers. We don't know everybody personally. We know quite a few, but not everybody. Nelson. Trying not to sidetrack Greg too much here.
Nope, we've got that. I just wanted to make sure we had the names the right way around. I believe this should now be correct. The fill is...
And Nelson with an 8-box. Go ahead, I'm sorry. And a 5-box for Ryan. No, Soward. That was the 3rd position. Sorry. So you picked up the fill for, yep, you got it. You're good. And then an 8-box for Nelson. So Royce.
I don't think that's quite right, but I'll check in a second.
C. Royce. Okay, C. Royce.
Yep, we had that wrong, unfortunately.
He drops 9, and Hubbard on your left starts out with 6, and there's a spare for C. Royce.
Yep, Steven and Steve still on the board.
Oh, look at that. Nice spare for Hubbard. See Royce on the spare punches out a spread eagle, 2 on his fill. So Hubbard coming up for his fill.
Three fill, 8-box for Nelson, 21 through 2. That's how it should have been.
Okay. So Hubbard drops 5. See Royce trying to pick up that half Worcester and gets everything but the 1, 5, 6, 10. See Royce trying to get the Caleri, and both bowlers will be open this box. And an 8-box for Sir Royce. And a 9-box, well, maybe not. Is it going to touch it? No, it's just going to tease a little bit. He says, forget it, I'm not waiting for that. And that's a 9-box for Steve Hubbard. All right, let's put the points up and the fact that this is a 2nd of 3 if we can.
Yes, thank you. That makes more sense.
There you go. You're doing good, pal. Greg is awesome at this, and
I try.
we've gotten a lot of kudos about that. So, and I have too. So, from people talking to me, wow, nice.
They just kept spilling for Colbert.
Yeah, Colbert ends up with a nice leave on that. He's got the 10 pin and a big flat piece of wood, couple pieces of wood in front of it. And look at this. Nope, not quite for Pelkey. And oh, geez.
Okay.
I would have said that too.
Well, that happened.
Yeah, Colbert was not happy with that, and I am not. I am in sympathy. And a 9 bucks for Pelkey.
Geez, you might have as well have glued the 10 pins down. 9 apiece.
Well, sometimes they're a little sticky on the end, but he had what looked like pretty good wood in front of it. It was double wood, but it looked like a straightforward shot, and I think he agreed. And wow.
Crossover might
Pelkey
take it
with
anyway.
a strike. Nice strike from Tom Pelkey. Little slow fall on the last pin to go, which I believe was a 5. It might have been the 8. I forget. We have a very, very slight delay on the monitor versus the bowling action. So sometimes when I'm doing other streams, there'll be enough of a delay I can kind of look back at the monitor and see what happened there. I'm watching the pins live usually. And
hopefully not too much lag.
No, not very much. Just enough so you can kind of, oh, what happened? Oh, I see. Now I can say how that went, and it sounds like I was really good at remembering every shot. And Colbert with a 9 box for an 18 after 2. Stars and Strikes jumps out to an early lead in the string with, go ahead, with a 12-pin lead. And go ahead and
Mark situation is currently 5 marks to 3, and pinning is within 1, slightly in favor of Stars and Strikes.
And the Bowlarama team has 2 open spares.
Pinning
Stars
was
Strikes has a strike that's open.
Yep. Pinning was 9 in favor of Bowlarama, but they lost by 10.
All right. We have Drover on the right, and there's a strike for McNally. Kevin McNally comes in and drops his nice strike. Drover was 5 on his fill. And he's got a diamond and a 7-pin, and the back 2 of the diamond are all the go on that one. He's just off the object pin, not much.
Yep. Chris Drover animated again, and I misaddressed him earlier. But he's been very amped up from the jump of this string. He knows he wants to get his team back into it and salvage some match points. Remember, folks, 2 match points per string and 2 for total, a total of 8 on offer.
And a close one in the first game. Okay. Chris Drover. And it drops 8. He was off on the 2-pin, and that's not the worst thing, a 1-7. He's got some wood that I think is probably not going to be too helpful, but if he can spin that around somehow. In the meantime, McNally, first ball in his strike, got 4. He's off onto the 3-pin range.
I predict Chris drives the wood straight back and gets frustrated by it. That looks very horizontal.
Well, if he goes to that side of it, well, took out the 7, can you believe? Look, it's
Roll.
coming back to the head pin, and it's going to curve back and sit.
And he gets a frustrated look right on cue.
Sometimes the objects that we play with, the balls and the pins, seem to have a mind of their own. And sometimes it's not a nice mind. And a 10 box for Drover. He was all over that head pin. He wishes he was the first time. And a 9 box for McNally, 45 after 4.
45 after 3 and 54 through 4.
Okay,
I'm behind.
That's okay. So there you go.
I'm watching the pins. I'm not sure what it is today. Come on, Gregory. Yoo-hoo.
No, you're doing a good job.
Need more of my Timmies.
Yep. Timmy Horton, shout out to them. Good stuff there. And very efficient service. Okay, we saw Ryan on his spare take out
That's 4 on that.
and he's left with a mini rack.
Yes,
And
he is.
a 6-pin
Oh, geez.
triangle.
He did a chop off. He did a chop off like you do in 5-pin, where you slice out just the front diagonal.
Oh, that wood might help him. It helps him some, but not with the 6 and the 7. And Neely Jr. had 3 to shoot at, and he picked off 2 of those.
Dennis is probably more annoyed by that than anything.
Well, that would be annoying too. He hit the wood pretty good, and a 10 box for Neely and an 8 box for Ryan. Bowlers are hyped up today. All those who have some possibility of contending.
That'd be Bowlarama in this case. But the roll of spoiler can be fun. All the pressure is off for Stars and Strikes, and they are getting better as they go. They don't have much to prove in any event anyway, considering all their accolades. But here they are stealing 2 match points and with the chance of more, even as they come out to an early advantage. Everyone's marking to start off.
Okay, Ryan dropping 8, leaving the 3 and the 6. Spare opportunity for him. Neely has 4 up, and that's a 1, 2, 4, and the 9, and wood right behind it. Probably couldn't be better set up than it is. And, well, I spoke too soon because that did not carry the 9. I thought it would. And thank you, Bob Lee. I appreciate that. We did catch it. It took a little bit to figure it out. What tipped me off was hairstyle.
9 and 9.
Okay, third bowler's coming up. Second bowler's coming up, sorry. And where you see, nope, second bowler, third are coming up, the first finished. Okay, here we go. I saw Neely up there and it looked like he was going to go to the approach, but he was coming down. So Al Nelson, veteran bowler on your left, and Adam Soward on your right, both on no spares for the last box. 9 drop, nice 9 drop by Adam Soward. 5 pin stays up, the king pin we call that. Not the head pin, the king pin. Al Nelson has a castle lead, 5, 6, 10. Soward misses a single pin spare attempt. So again, with the castle lead, as we typically do, we see 2 pieces of wood there. This time it's really interesting. 1 leaning up against the 5 and 1 in front of the other 2. Can he get all 3 to go? He's going to the wood on the left, and good idea. He kicked the 5 over to the right, and it didn't take it out. Soward has a 10 box.
5, 6, 10, 4, 5, 7 alternatively. One of the most maddening leaves in the game.
There you go, 10 box for Nelson. He had a really good idea on that, is bring it in on that wood, get some rightward movement on that 5 pin, and maybe it'll take it. And it came pretty close, it didn't do it.
It needs a name. We like the name Castle.
It'll become popular, guaranteed. You watch, we'll be seeing it.
Its infamy will rise.
And usually a cuss word in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Soward.
Oh, that's probably what others call it, yeah?
Oh, geez.
Speaking of.
So I think a couple of cuss words were just said by these bowlers. Soward on the head pin, and he's got 3 in a line on the right and a triangle on the left. And Nelson hit the head pin, and what did he take out, though? 1, 8, 9. No, just the 1 and the 8. The 9 doesn't seem to go here when we get that. Soward picked up a little bit. Nelson taking a bid on this. Does not go.
Obligatory mention, we will not, if we have our wits about us, not swear on our broadcast, but I can't say the same about the bowlers. Tough 6 for Soward.
I'm pretty good about that, but you know, it can happen. Thank you, Jerry Martin.
We won't even call Mass H by their real name, much to their chagrin. Team Massachusetts, we refer to them as.
They wish we would.
But if you've ever driven in Massachusetts, you probably heard the term.
Yeah, we probably deserve it. And if you go to New Hampshire, that's what they call us, and I think Mainers do as well. We call Mainers maniacs.
And then, like the lunatics we are, we're proud of that title anyway.
Yeah, they think we're offended by that. We call ourselves that.
Yeah. No, it's a good team.
As per the team does.
Nah, it's a good team name. I just don't want to say it for you folks, or heaven forbid if the YouTube gods are looking at us.
All right, punch out for Stephen Hubbard to start his third box. C. Royce, good head pin hit, and he leaves the 6 and the 10. Saw that before. I'm not going to predict what comes out of this. I think it's good. Good bid on picking up the half Worcester leave for Hubbard. No.
No.
Ow.
So the rule is that once a pin is in the gutter, it stays in the gutter, and the pins you lose are gone forever.
That ain't a spare, folks. That's an 8 box.
So Hubbard picks up 2 in the process. It's more so disappointing that he missed the spare. Our foul is not really penalizing that much in its own right, unless it like really caroms off the walls, which here at Fairlanes, it's a fast house, but that can work against you in that situation. And
speaking of the pins having a personality, they're kind of falling on their own right now just to tease the bowler.
It's morning. They're kind of rolling out of bed, not fully standing up straight.
Sounds like us.
Yeah, I did wake up a little early.
I got up early and then went back to bed.
Again, don't pity us. It's a grind, but boy, do we love having this front row seat from here in the luxury box, the DJ booth, the Glow Bowling DJ stand.
As long as we're up here, we don't have to dodge people either.
Fairlanes and Moncton. Yeah, it's a nice perch. And they don't have to dodge us.
Oh, Hubbard with another punch out.
But heaven help you if you look at our WOW shirts funny. But it is for a good cause. We hope you'll stop and consider.
All right. C. Royce.
What is that? 5'7", 8'10"?
That is a 5'7", 8'10". And so the wood's really interesting on the right. And I think if you hit the 5 pin to the right, or maybe the 5-8 together, you might get the whole thing. Let's see if that happens. No, he's going to be off on the 7. He gets the 7 and the 8. Hubbard, in the meantime, put a big bid on the half Worcester leave and got everything but the head pin and the 8 pin. We haven't seen that spared too much. And a 10 box. 9 box for Sir Royce. And Jerry Martin, thank you again, if I didn't already say it, for helping prompt us as to the substitutions. We did pick that up before, but we need help up here sometimes, and a lot of you guys watching on YouTube and on Facebook, or watching your favorite bowlers, so it's a little easier, especially with the teams that don't have names on their back. And another half Worcester for the Bowlarama team. Can they not get a break? That's a left one for Colbert. Pelkey's on a strike, and he gets one.
Well, to be fair, you got to hit the head pin. We can tell you why that one didn't fall. The rest, you're on your own.
That's both teams are getting the hit with this thing.
Yeah.
I think it's contagious.
Now it's how you rescue it. We've seen
okay, no, he's going too far. I usually try to cut it on the inside, and a lot of bowlers do for the first ball. He's going to the outside.
Ooh.
Now
roll, tip.
All right, you got a little break on it, so they don't have mirror image leaves. But they both need to do a bang-up job to get a good box out of this for pinning. And a 7 for Colbert, and Pelkey has 6 so far. And that's a good 10 box. That was a nice way to finish it. Probably about where he wanted to go to pick up a half Worcester.
That's quintessential candlepin. You get a bad
if
break,
right.
maybe with a slightly off-target ball, but you grind through on the third ball. That gains half a mark. That can stack up in a hurry if you're gaining them 3 pins at a time.
Well, we've got 2 irritated bowlers up there, and I predict that they're both going to try to throw bombs here.
You could just say bowlers. That's redundant.
Oh, Colbert on the head pin. Pelkey off a little bit. Look at the leaves again. Look at this. These guys aren't getting any breaks at all. So Colbert has a banana split, 4, 6, 7, 10. He's got wood in front of the 6 and the 10. Trying to make something out of that. Oh, yeah. There you go. Let's just add insult to injury and make it a 7-10. Pelkey has the 1, 5, 7, 10, the high-low jack. And, well, we might be able to see that go. Look at this. No, just enough to tease you and then off into the pit. Pretty soon, some of these bowlers might lose their sense of humor about this. 9 box for Colbert and a 9 box for Pelkey. Let's smoke where we are. And I think Paul's ready to grab a microphone here. No, not quite. Yeah, he is. Nope, he's going off. All right. Greg's going to walk down into the bowler's area to verify the scores. We can't really read them on their score sheets that they project up onto the wall above the bowlers. Can kind of read it, but all week long that's been a challenge for us. So Greg's been very good about. In fact, he prefers to do it himself, don't you, Greg?
I just go down and snap a few pictures of the transparency. Does my face show up there? I'm so sorry, viewers, if it does.
No. It's mine you have to worry about, the face made for radio.
That's a load of nonsense.
All right, we have McNally on the right, Kevin McNally for Stars and Strikes. And his first ball is in the left pocket. No strike for him on this one, but only the 5 and the 8 stand that onslaught. Drover. An 8 drop for him. The 4 and the 7, and some wood coming into that direction. And he's saying, get out of there. Come on. Really? Now I got to be creative. And McNally perturbed about missing that 2-pin spare. And look at this. Look at this.
Score announcement, I'm afraid. Adam Soward, I'm sorry I had you 5 pins too high. I missed the one of those boxes. So back to 30 through 4. And that's the true lead on your screen.
Oh, there you go. He hit that perfectly. No margin for error. He had to come off that second piece of wood, and $10 for McNally. And that was, I mean, I'm looking at that as a bowler and just thinking, okay, I got to get somehow to the low end of that slanted wood around that piece is pointing at me, because if I hit the cap there, it's just going to punch one out. And he did it perfectly. He hooked that ball right into that little tiny V in the back and picks up a spare as his reward. That was great bowling. McNally drops 5 to start. And on the fill, all right, he's getting a break that time. Drover has 9 in the fill. And he might have to make another tricky shot here.
With that fixed, all scores now confirmed.
Okay, so McNally missed the spare bid. Drover, he's got to get around that wood or through that wood somehow to get to the 10-pin. He can't go to the right of it.
Steve Colbert had adverse wood on the 10-pin before.
There it goes, off the wall. Again, we saw 2 very, very tough shots made by Drover. I know it doesn't look tough sometimes when you've got just the 2 pins together or one, but with the wood blocking it, the wood can deflect your ball all over the place. And very carefully and very precisely. I'm impressed. That was really, really 2 good shots by Drover.
19 and another, and it means it could be as little as single digits. If he dumps a dime on it next, it is virtually a tie.
Any much better, I'm going to start standing up and yelling, wow, guys.
Uh-oh.
All right, we have Neely Jr., Russ Neely Jr. on the right for Stars and Strikes, and Dennis Ryan on the left for the Bowlarama team. And Ryan dropped 9. He has a standalone 6-pin, some wood to the left of it. He uses it. It works. And a good bid by Ryan. I'm sorry, that was McNeely made the shot. So Ryan put a pretty good bid on that and left the 4-pin with wood in front of it. That should go. There it goes. $10 for Ryan. And so we have the Canadians Bowlarama team versus the Stars and Strikes from Maine. Stars and Strikes, as far as I know, a pretty legendary team. And Neely's coming up on a fill, so let me fill that first ball and see what the fill is. And okay, 6 fill for Neely. And Paul has an update.
Okay, with some updates, folks, and scores. We'll give you the updated standings afterwards. Academy Lanes, 24-0 yesterday, win their first. The hot streak continues. 584 to 553 over Outlaw Rides. That puts them in first place by themselves in the left room.
Oh, spare
Team
for
USA
Ryan.
throws a 605 at Able Construction, 676. Mike Brown, 162. Darren Martin, 148. They're up 71 as the number 3 seed. 2.64 defeats Fenway Academy in the first of 3. 553, 530, up 23. Unbelievable lanes. Fighting for a playoff spot on the outside right now. Wins are Lucky Strike. Doing the 6th spot, Lucky Strike coming in. Unbelievable. 586, 573, up 13. TBD Bowlarama lose to Central Park Lanes, 595 to 576. Mass team in the playoff hunt, 625 to 540 over Avon Valley Lanes. Nick Leach, the birthday boy, 143. Dave Godwin, also his birthday for Lucky Strike. Spikes Timmy Services we'll see next. But Prosperity U defeats the Hatchman in an upset, 547, 533. Prosperity U loses to Bowling Ball Mafia, 595 to 577. A Plus Accounting, 634. Harry's All-Stars, 589. Despite Jake Cook's 148. Oakland Park drops it to New England Flooring, 608 to 572. Nate Lee's at a 141. Maria Subs loses to Kingswood Bulletproof, 599 to 593. And we'll update the standings here after this next box.
Okay, and we saw a spare.
Couple of spares from Neely.
Yep. And there we go. And on the birthday wishes, shout out to my oldest daughter's birthdays today. Jillian. So we're going down to Clean Wood. And then we'll get to see Nelson and Soward some more. Nelson on your right for the Stars and Strikes team. And it looks like his first ball was off on the 4-pin and took out the 4-7. Soward had a ball that took out everything but the 2-4-7. Little steep wood in front of it. Oh, Nelson, nice bid, and look at that. There it goes. A double tap from the wood for that 5-pin to say, get out of here. Beautiful spare on what was not a great first ball. And Soward looking to match that spare, sweeps the wood, and it was a little too steep. So now he's left with the 4 and the 7.
Here comes the third ball, and that's a 10 box.
That's a 10.
Over to
back.
Paul.
Okay, updating the standings on the left room, Group A. Fenway Academy now in second place. Academy Lanes 56 points. Fenway 55 points. Able Construction third at 50. Fourth at 40 points. Outlaw Rides 37 points in fifth. Final spot right now, the Mass H team right behind 36 points. 1 point out. Unbelievable Lanes.
Oh,
2.64. 35 points. 34 points Lucky Strike. 32 Team USA. Central Park outside shot at 28. Back with the other group in just a moment.
Strike on spare for Al Nelson, veteran bowler for the Stars and Strikes team. He showed he's got his stuff, and a half Worcester for Soward.
Whoa!
And is he going to get it? No. He tapped and rocked the 5-pin, but the 5-pin stays up.
Goodness gracious.
9 box.
Back to you.
Okay, the other group, Group B, Maria Sub lost the first. A Plus Accounting is tied, but the tiebreaker goes by total pinfall. A Plus Accounting officially number 1 by 76 pins. So Maria Sub is second on the tiebreaker, each with 56 points. 48 points to Hatchman, who lost the first string, who we'll see next by Spike's Chimney Services. Upset there. New England Flooring is fourth at 46 points. Kingswood Bulletproof fifth at 45. Right behind, Bowlarama here, 42. Bowling Ball Mafia, 40. Prosperity U, 36. Everybody else pretty much is out of it. Back to you guys to wrap it up.
Okay. We see C. Royce on the right for Stars and Strikes, and he took out the. Is that 6? No, it's 5. He's got a 9-pin hiding back there. And Hubbard off on the 3-pin, took out the half Worcester and also the 7-pin. He went completely wide on that. And Hubbard also went wide on his, and both bowlers going to have to throw a third ball. Okay, good job by C. Royce. He kind of put his hands up, said, see, it was, I know it was there. But he gets a 10, and so does Hubbard. So If you can't get the spare, get that 10. Those pins are critical in these games.
Stephen Hubbard has only left one pin standing through this string.
Hubbard's on the head pin, a little bit full, and when you do that, you end up with a split of some kind typically. And his split is the 3-7-10. And now Hubbard comes up.
That's it.
Royce, and Hubbard drops a bomb, but the 10 pin doesn't fall.
Hubbard.
There's a messenger coming over and saying, why don't you fall down too? There's a strike for Hubbard.
Yep.
A dramatic.
His second and third ball were working for the pins. Now he got through that good ball first and got the reward.
And Royce has a messenger come over to take out that other pin, but it just bumps it and greets it and says hello, good morning.
Hi.
But he taps it out anyway for a 10 box.
When subtlety doesn't work.
All right. Now we have Tom Pelkey coming up on the right and Steve Colbert on the left. Both bowlers open in the fourth. Both looking to pick up. Pelkey with his first ball for Stars and Strikes. In the pocket. Colbert in the other pocket. Pelkey with a triangle, a 2-4-5 triangle.
Easier than that diamond for Colbert.
Colbert's got a triangle and a pin in the back to make it a diamond. And Pelkey takes out the back two. Colbert takes out his back two. I think both bowlers slapped the ball return on that one. And 9 box for Pelkey and a 9 box for Colbert. No gain, no loss for either team on that one.
Yeah, Stars and Strikes stacking an advantage, 10 marks to 6. Also notable is now pinning is swinging way in Stars and Strikes' favor, 13 in their favor in this string.
And we have a piece of wooden channel, and Tom Pelkey took it out with a ball. Thought he was going to have to reset. The ball came out of the channel and went between all of the pins. And is Paul looking for Mike again? All right, Pelkey off on the right and has a reasonable lead. Colbert puts it in on the head pin and gets a split for his efforts. So Pelkey is shooting at the 2-4-7-9 with some wood in front of it, and no bid on the 9, no good on the 9 pin. Pelkey at the 3-4-7-6.
That's Colbert. Yep.
Colbert, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little challenging when I got their names right above their heads and they're reversed. So I see it on the shirt and the color, and I know who they are. But sometimes the mouth goes faster than the brain.
Does slapping your leg improve your bowling? Many bowlers do it, I hasten to add.
7 box. All right, you're up there, and Paul has an update? Nope, not yet. Okay. Okay, so smoke the scores here. Smoke over the scores.
10 marks to 6. 2 marks up on each side. That's what I show.
All right.
I'll invade their space in box 8. Thank you, bowlers, for letting me just cramp your style for a bit.
We'll take a look back at the Facebook feed.
Drover fills 7. He's been pounding the head pin. He's only missed it once, I believe.
I see Steve Carden has joined us. One of my conference compadres in the Atlantic Camera Pin Singles Tour. We have a match coming up between Steven and I. Looking forward to it.
McNally parallel pins. Chris has been animated all string long after that surprising miss earlier and how frustrated he got.
I can't imagine how he's going to do if he marks this. Oh, look at that.
Come on.
I thought that was a good hit. McNally.
It's like me when my stream went down and I was melting down. Y'all were patting me for, like, it's okay, it's okay.
These guys are on their objects and just not getting the breaks here at the moment. And look at that. A big plank in front of it and just misses that. Very frustrated. And McNally gets his for a 10 box. Drover's at 86 and McNally at 84.
3 straight 10s for McNally.
Okay, Chris Drover. On to the 2-pin, takes out 4.
Chesterco's favorite. We've seen that wash out a lot of times. Just wash out the 2, 5, 8, and 10.
McNally with just the 2-pin showing.
I'm keenly aware I'm the only one who uses that big ball bowling term here.
What's that?
Wash out, missing the head pin. But split implies the head pin. You got to have another word.
All right. Drover picked up a couple more. McNally looking to mark on this, and oh my goodness. That time the ball return got kicked. He went to the right, and that was one of those if you're going to miss to the left shots. And he knows it. See? Miss to the left. Picks it up for a 10 box. Now is not a good time to go ask McNally questions. He's trying, but that is aggravating. He had 2 opportunities. Same with Drover. He is equally aggravated at the moment. I don't blame him.
Russ Neely on a spare. This is Dennis Ryan.
Is there another substitution here?
No, I believe this is correct.
Okay.
Can't do it past the halfway mark of the string.
Okay. Spare for Neely. So he put
6 in. He ran down the horseman. I believe that was 3 straight spares. Ryan gets a 9 box.
Okay, not a lot of comments coming in on Facebook. Viewership is heavy on the YouTube feed.
Glad to have you here, every single one of you. I mean, even on our so-called off hours, so to speak, when you're all at work and can't be watching bowling without your boss getting angry. Or maybe you are anyway, no shame. Not from us.
Ryan drops 8. He's got a, well, I won't say straightforward spare shot, but at least from here it looks like he's got a good opportunity here. And nope.
I missed the spare smudge. Neely was on a fill and put 2 on it. Better result on the second ball. Third ball's up for each.
The Bowlarama guys are just not getting any breaks at all here. 10 box for Ryan. And 9 box for Neil. Yep, I thought it was right. So there is a sub on the Bowlarama team. And the subs are, if I can read it, Barry, it's blocked by an icon, is in for Dennis Ryan, and David Cooper is in for Adam Soward.
Okay, thank you.
So I just can't see Barry's last name here because there's something blocking it on my screen. Hey, maybe if I turn it sideways, it'll help. Barry Soward is in for Dennis Ryan. So not Adam Soward, Barry Soward. He's come, so there you go.
Al Nelson on a strike. And a spare on strike. 3 straight marks. Take my word for it, Danny. Al Nelson is on a roll.
Okay.
We have an 8 box. And let me pull up the full scoreboard. I think that'll probably be the easiest way for people to not see my ugly face. if I hit the front cam picture. And then let's.
So that's David Cooper in bowling right now for Bowlarama, just so you know.
In the 3 spot.
Right. He replaced Adam Soward.
And then Barry Soward, you said, was in the
Barry
lineup?
Soward replaced Dennis Ryan. And so David Cooper, 8 on that drop, and Nelson put
4 on it.
4 on his. David Cooper looking for a mark here, much needed. Oh, come on. Just off the head pin, takes a 7. No mark there. Big cluster of pins for Al Nelson. And another break.
4 straight.
Just a nudge on that pin, and the Bowlarama guys can't get a break like that at all. Cooper with the 9 box. Okay, and Greg's going to go take a quick look at the scores sheet. And you'll see him down there by the bowlers, by the table. Okay, I'll tell Greg to turn the volume up a little bit. And Colbert off on the right, and C. Royce off on the left. And both bowlers looking at lines of pins and a outlier. So C. Royce has Colbert first on the right. I'll tell you that was an outpost.
I've confirmed the switches.
Okay, and Bob has requested the volume up a little bit on the board.
I'll try my best. Let's see how this goes.
Okay, so Colbert trying to 10 out with a high-low jack, and he does. Beautiful shot.
So 7 fill, 10 box on that, therefore.
No, he had a 4 fill.
Well, it was on a strike. It was on a strike.
It was on a strike. That's right. I got to keep
Just
up
a moment. Just a moment, folks.
There. All right, 9 box for C. Royce. And I think Paul is looking for a mic.
Nope, he's just looking on.
Okay.
Let me tab the score down again. Still C. Royce and Hubbard at the line.
Okay. C. Royce on your left for Stars and Strikes. And Stephen Hubbard on your right for Bowlarama. Oh, almost. Needed that. And C. Royce drops 9 as well. All right, so I'll be staying on the 3rd game here. Spare for Hubbard.
Made his 1 in a plank.
Wood is out there for C. Royce. No problem. Picks it up. Matching spares for our bowlers in the 8th boxes.
It was slightly more of a problem, but Scott solved it well.
Yeah, it was out a bit, and he read it perfectly. No problem at all.
Been stacking up big time for Stars and Strikes.
All right, 6th box, 5th bowlers. Tom Pelkey on your left, Steve Colbert on the right. Colbert puts one on a head pin, and no break again. 9 dropped. Pelkey's off the head pin, and he only takes out 4. So Colbert's got a single pin spare to shoot at. Oh yeah, there he goes.
On the board.
And Pelkey goes wide to the right.
Anchor's cooling off, 1 mark apiece.
Trying to cut over, and he does. Beautiful shot. He comes into the 1-3 pocket, takes out all 4 on that split. And now we see Colbert up on a fill. Before that fill, he's at 60 at 7.
Reminder, Bowlarama comes in on the playoff bubble. Only the top 5 teams in each division will make. Leveling up here.
Nice ball by Colbert, but it only nets a 4 fill.
I only set myself too low. I think that's a fine volume.
Pelkey takes out the 6-9-10 with that 6-pin hit, my alternate head pin, I call it.
I technical engineer at the speed of sound, but I can't say it's quality all the time. Whoa, 7-pin left behind.
Don't know how that happened. And a spare for Pelkey. Colbert for the 10 attempt. And there it is. 10 for Colbert, spare for Pelkey. All right, coming back to the top of our lineups. No apparent substitutions at this point. McNally's off onto the 2-pin and catches a 7 drop. 1, 3, and 9 stay up. Drover.
Busted
Hoping
up.
for that.
Oof.
Come on. He's hoping to break up the 7-10 split. Wood isn't terrible for this attempt, so he's got a chance at it. No spare from McNally. At the 7-10 split, nicely done. Spare for Drover. And 10 bucks for McNally. Yep, we got that, Ken Jollymore. I may be late in responding to that, but we did pick up on that. So thank you. We see that's Adam Sauerstad, Barry Sauert up there.
All scores are confirmed.
Jay McNally with a 5 drop.
Again, our deepest apologies, not knowing all the names of all the Canadian bowlers offhand.
But the audience is helpful and appreciated very much. Thank you.
Raise it up somewhat. Not
Okay,
sure why
is
it's
that
not
good?
picking.
All right, is that good?
That's better.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about the headset. It's just not picking up. Maybe it's more directional than I give it credit for.
Well, and I've been known to move the microphone a little bit, so both bowlers will be open in this box, box 10.
As long as we're talking into it.
And I have a relatively quiet voice most of the time.
Yeah. You can see the level up there. I'm hoping for it to go top green.
Yep, I see it. We just
Ooh,
punched
that
the yellow.
goes. Hey.
10 bucks.
Mark it 10. Thank you very much. Versus a 9 box. Evan McNally finishes within 1 pin of Chris Drover's 115.
Next. All right, next set of bowlers coming up. Neely Jr. on your right. And Barry Sauert on your left. 7 and 7 in the drops.
I wish I could get this audio more consistent. I'm so sorry. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Okay, looks like a pair of 10s, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me check your positioning real quick, just make sure we're really talking into this, I suppose.
Is that hard to hear me? No, I think I'm okay.
That was good.
Looks good on the meters.
All right. On to box 10.
Oh, nice 8 drop by Neely.
Neely spilled that head pin.
And matching leaves for these guys with the exception of the Wood. And Neely's got Wood looking at him. That's going to make it tough. That's going to make it tough.
Fairly sure Barry's covers. I'm not 100% convinced, but
I think Barry's looks pretty good. Let me look. I see the pins more
there's
clearly.
also a vertical piece of wood which might contain it.
Well, that may also deflect too. If you hit the wood, it may prevent it from hitting the 6 pin. So it's not as straightforward as it looks. McNeely shoots. There we go.
Yeah.
Soward got his. McNeely went around to the left a little bit, trying to sweep something over. And actually, the cap worked. He picked up the cap that time, and it went. He should have probably gone at that in the first place. But a lot of bowlers look at that cap and accurately predict it's going to be a problem. So spare for Soward, 10 bucks for Neely. And Soward still has a fill to close out this game.
Yeah, Stars and Strikes finding their mojo big time. Nobody's got less than 2 marks. A fewer than 2 marks.
And so Barry Soward coming in to fill his spare on the 10th box here in game 2. And takes a break to the 3 pin and just gets 4 on it. So Bowlarama picks up some pins.
101 for the slot.
And now we see Al Nelson on the right, who's been spectacular the last few boxes.
Spare, strike, spare, spare in the last 4.
And David Cooper on your left for Bowlarama. Nelson's had some really fun spares with messenger pins coming over and taking out that last one. His first ball in the 8th is a 3.
2 fills crunch into 1. He's losing the range on the head pin. Still a fantastic string.
And David Cooper gets 7. The 1, 3, and 7 stand. And Cooper goes wide of the head pin to the left. He'll be open this box.
Barn doors there.
Oh, there's a spare for David Cooper. That was beautiful.
All sorts of wood to carry him into the 7. Nice shot.
Cut in on the left side of the head pin. Now, Nelson has the 1, 5, 7, 10. So the high-low jack with a bonus of a king. And just the head pin goes, takes nothing out, and a 7 box for Al Nelson. Puts him at 113 after 9, and Cooper's a 76 plus a ball.
The only other time I've heard high-low jack used is in the card game Pitch.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it's made it this far north, but I've played it before on a computer game.
My grandparents were big into Pitch.
Interesting.
And when I was a kid, we played that a lot, and I don't remember how to play it. And then when I went to college in Indiana, the big game out there was euchre, which is very similar to Pitch.
Yeah. I have a few tricks up my sleeve.
And so there were a lot of, well, pretty much every night at college was a fraternity party night somewhere, and there were a lot of euchre games going on, the euchre tournaments.
6 fill for David Cooper, 82 through 9. Hearts I've heard of as well. I wish Bridge made more of a comeback. I play that game.
I'm not a big of a card-playing guy, but I played backgammon in college a lot.
Oh, I'd play that.
Yep,
But if you wanted to play me in cribbage, Kegler's Bar here in Moncton Fairlanes has a board and deck of cards.
I'll play chess or backgammon against you.
I'll take all comers. Oh, chess, you'd probably wipe the floor with me.
Don't count on it. I haven't played much in a while.
Al Nelson takes an 8, and David Cooper takes a 9. You see the final strings there. I'm going to focus on score checking. Paul may just have to wait a second, I'm sorry to say. I would like to make certain. Yes, my scores are adding up still.
All right, we're going to see C. Royce on the right. He's on a fill. And Stephen Hubbard on the left. He's on a fill. And C. Royce fills his spare from the 7th box, or 8th box, with 6. And Hubbard, 8, 9, 10. That's a strike on spare. That's a break for Bowlarama. That's what they need a lot of right at this moment. And C. Royce
Certainly after Nelson stacked a few 20s. Al getting work done.
And a 7 box for the Stars and Strikes team.
Oh, don't want to give away 7s. That's half a mark atop all that.
So he's at 89 at 9. He needs this mark for 100.
If Hubbard dumps another strike on this, it's game on.
Oh, yeah.
Bowlarama's been flummoxed a few times about why that 9 wouldn't turn to 10.
Well, Royce came back from that. He's going to get over 100. None of these guys ever want to be below 100.
Unless he had me throwing the ball.
So we have matching strikes. Well, not matching. 1 in the 9th for Hubbard. Hubbard is looking for double. No double. 6 in the first ball. The 1, 3, 4, 7 stand. Okay, nothing going. Just 8 in the fill. Nothing wrong with an 8. But not when you want a 10, because you want to get another mark in here. So Hubbard closes out with a 10 box, 129. Nothing wrong with that score, but is it enough to set up the anchor? Especially
unlikely.
yeah,
Sorry, unlikely. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, it is.
Pelkey does have a spare, actually. This is not, or no, Pelkey has a spare, is going to stack this even further.
Now there's ball 1 for Royce on his strike fill, and that's a 6.
Still a lot to play for. Bowlarama can close total.
So
contest for the remaining match points.
You going to sweep that wood over, or are you going to go in the pocket? Let's see what he does.
2 per string, 2 for total.
Nope, he takes it safe. Says, I'll take 9 instead of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Not messing around here. I don't want 0. So a 9 fill on a strike. And Royce does achieve a plus 100 string after struggling all that one, and 108 for him. All right, our anchor bowlers are up now. We see Tom Pelkey on the right. He's on a spare. He's only at 83 after 8, and Steve Colbert is at 76. He's going to have serious markage here. How do you like that, Tom? And 9 for Pelkey. I'm sorry, can I see that again? I couldn't see it.
Do you have a pen by chance?
Oh, do I? Yeah.
Nice count for Pelkey on his mark.
Always carry a pen.
Splendid.
All right, Colbert looking for a spare. He's looking at the 5 and 8.
Bounced it. Good shot.
And there's the mark.
For each.
All right. Pelkey keeping Colbert away by putting up a mark at the same time he did. So 10th box, and it's a wrap pretty much on this game for Stars and Strikes winning their second set of points. And Pelkey puts 7 on it, and Colbert trying to get as many pins as possible for total. Ends up with 8 on his. Or no, and well, 8 on his fill. And this is our 10th box. Sometimes I seem to get ahead. And look at that. Stars and Strikes get another break with a backdoor spare on the triangle.
3 straight marks for Tom Pelkey.
Colbert, 4th 10. Can he get it? No, it's in the channel, not even close. So
required a thin slice.
Yep, I've made that.
Must be nice.
My teammate AJ Gurliaccio thinks I always make it, and I don't. I occasionally make spares like that. But regardless, Colbert didn't. It's a 9 for him for a 112. And Pelkey's at 119 plus a ball. Did you get Colbert's 9?
Yep.
Okay, put it in. So that bring it. Oh no, that doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
reading off
103.
what you already had it completed, so I'm adding it on top of that.
We got there.
All right. Count on Greg more than me. What you see instead of what you hear. Pelkey 119 plus a 7 drop.
We'll move it to 3rd of 3 in advance. Put a 7 on the board and a 126. I'm hoping to see 584 to 539 on the overhead. Do I? Yes. 584, 539. Yes, we're
right,
there.
Good job.
Let's confirm scores. Excellent. There you see the scores on your screen.
All right, and we're getting some conversation. Paul's going to pick up whatever substitutions we have coming up. So I see David Cooper talking to Paul about that.
Some substitutions
Oh,
have
no,
taken
that's not David Cooper. I'm sorry.
Some substitutions have taken place, you see, with the Asterisks, but 262 for Tom Pelkey. That's the storyline so far, I would say. Closest to 400. Stand by while we reset. Please follow the action, Dan, and I will catch up with you in just a moment.
Okay, I will. And we're coming into game 3, so I'm going to stay on the mic right now and wrap this match up. So far, it is 4-0 for the Stars and Strikes team. All right.
Okay, got the scoreboard. Let's put this down here and get the confirmation from Paul. What have we here? We have Chris Drover. Now David Cooper in second. That's a 9 drop for McNally, if I understand correctly.
Sure was. A nice big fat 9 drop. No problems with that
Adam
at all.
Sauer, Stephen Hubbard will stay 4th, and Steve Colbert will stay 5th. Yep, so slots 2 and 3 again being juggled around.
Come on. Are you kidding me?
Goodness. Robbed on the wood?
Oh, yeah. Not only robbed on the wood, it went into the channel, stood up straight in the channel, and went behind.
Goodness gracious.
And he was on it, too. He couldn't believe it. Drover on the right picks up a 10 box.
Stars and Strikes will remain the same lineup. I'll just take one more look just to make darn sure I have everything correct.
And that's a 9 box, folks. That's out of the channel.
Indeed, we're juggling 9 box. It is for McNally. And I believe that is all set. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're good to go on that.
So slots 1, 4, and 5 remain the same for Bowlarama as they try to get it going in slots 2 and 3.
Okay. Chris Drover. He's got 8, and that front pin is leaning significantly.
Well, Chris Drover's been, I think he moved from 2nd to 1st, if my memory serves.
Okay, yes, that's what it looks like.
That's right, he was 2nd originally.
So he's looking at the 2 and the 8, and he goes too wide. He had to hit that wood. That's kind of an inverted half Worcester. In the meantime, McNally picks up a spare. Deserved the last one, got this one, deserved that too. And Drover will never know if that would have gone or not because he didn't hit anything on that one. So an 8 box for him.
Check mic positioning, I suppose.
Am I still quiet?
Somehow I've got you cranked.
Okay, let's try that now.
No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do drastic measures and just,
Switching me to line 3.
speak at a normal volume.
Okay, is that okay? All right, is that okay?
Try to really get in there, I suppose.
All right, is that okay?
Oh, that was a lot better, yeah. I guess it really has to be.
All right, it's got to be right close.
I guess if you have to eat the microphone.
We do that in music sometimes, so
I
it's
suppose
hard
so.
to do when you're playing guitar, by the way.
Cooper had I think it was the Chester Cove washout there. Look at this cut by Russ Neely. Doesn't go.
And Cooper looking for a 10, and it's an 8 box.
Good
and
10.
Neely, gets a 10. Stars and Strikes piling it on right now. And that puts the Bowlarama guys in a really tough position. David Cooper on your right for Bowlarama. Just out of the pocket. 7 drop. The 1, 3, and 10 are left. Neely's on the head pin, but he leaves the split of the 2, 4, 7 and the 6 pin. Cooper on a spare bid, and just the 3 pin goes for him. All right, let's see if I can get that mic closer, bring my levels up. Gang, I'm not whispering here. All right, so Cooper tries to pick up 10 there, and Neely ends up with a 7.
Al Nelson and Adam Soward up next. There we go.
All right, Adam Soward, first ball in the first box. And off to the right a bit, and he leaves a 1, 4, 5, 7, 8. Some wood in the mix there. Al Nelson, star of the second string, I think. And he picks off the 6, 9. No 10-pin went with that, just a 2-drop.
Pelkey's been solid, but Nelson was a big reason why.
Oh, there we go. There's Soward with a
5-pin conversion.
Yep.
How about a 9-pin conversion?
That's Adam Soward. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not agreeing with what I have down here.
Close one. That would have been a spare and 9-pin candle pin. A variant we play where 9 becomes a strike, spare, or 10, depending on what you're aiming for. Just a little easier to deal with these pesky pins that way.
I haven't heard of that before.
Candlepin Corner, another one of our Candlepin content creators.
And good friends of ours.
Yeah, Jordan Britton, Corey Alisi, they're producing another format entirely, Candlepin Skins as well, I hasten to mention. But come Christmas time, they'll be doing a 9-pin tournament with that rule set out of Academy Lanes.
Well, that'll be fun. I get a lot of 9 drops that I can't convert.
Yeah. I hope they get Paul to commentate. He tried to do the last one, but there were technical issues, so here's hoping. And they're done that.
All right, Nelson with a punch out. Adam Soward with 5. And a punch out for Adam Soward, so no spare this time. Nelson's going to try to spare the half Worcester remnant. He's in the right spot, one of the 2 right spots to get that, but he ends up leaving the 5 and the 8. Still a great bid. Soward trying to use the wood to carry to the left and ends up with a 7 box.
Tough split. He got the head pin after a spare, and it just didn't work out.
And Nelson spinning the wood around, nothing doing, so an 8 box for him.
Scott Saroys and C. Royce, beg your pardon, and Stephen Hubbard. See if I can catch all the head pin hits this time. Trying to settle.
Okay, Stephen Hubbard is first ball in the 3rd string. The Bowlarama guys trying to pick up at least 4 if they can. Because the first 4 have been captured by Stars and Strikes. And Sirois,
that helps. That helps.
That does. That head pin fell late. But so Hubbard's shooting at the 4 and the 7. And doesn't hit anything.
Right of that 2-pinner. C. Royce's wood is a little too vertical for my liking.
It's not perfect, but it's not terrible.
It could bounce as well. It may be an unconvincing spare, but it could easily go.
He's in there, and your call was correct, sir.
Yeah. Well, I said both things. It could carry him or it could not. So
it went
in that
flat against the wall and came back and didn't touch any upright pin.
No, I sat on the fence on that one. That was just hard to tell what that badly angled piece would do. Gain a stick or 2?
He picked up 1, so Hubbard with an 8 box and Sirois with
a 10, isn't it?
Yep, it's a 10.
All right, question of sticks with just 1 spare up in the early going.
Oops, I went black.
Yep, just your monitor, I think.
Okay, no signal.
Now it should pop up, although we might get some.
All right, I'll watch the bowlers then.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I literally just touched that cable with my thumb as I was grabbing my phone, and I'm back. That's okay. I can see the bowlers. I watched the monitor.
Yeah, that was probably a lot of freezing lag there. That should now be better. Split is 5 and 7.
And
for Hubbard.
C. Royce has a half Worcester plus a 7-pin, and Hubbard, great bit. And there it goes for Hubbard. That's a head scratcher, he says. Don't question it. It went down.
Any way you want it, that's the way we need it.
Okay, and Sirois did not get a spare on his, and he gets a 9-box to finish that frame, or box, as we say in Candlepin.
I'm going to adjust some things real quick.
Okay.
Pardon me. Where'd my audio levels go? There we go. All right.
And Colbert on your right and Pelkey on your left. Pelkey with a 2-pin hit. Colbert was on the head pin, left triangle. And that triangle is composed of the 2, 4, 5. And he picks it up, no problem. Spare for Colbert. Stars and strikes bowler Tom Pelkey.
Oh, it was hit. Goodness.
Not quite hard enough.
Harsh.
Or high enough. A little higher. If that would have punched up toward the top of that pin, I think being over the center of gravity, it might have gone.
I have a lot of chess notation on my sheet here. I'm noting that as exclamation point question mark for, come on, it was hit. Why didn't it go?
Well, he hit the wood, but not the pin.
Which is how you'd end those 2 sentences, exclamation point question mark.
Yeah, hit the reset button, come into the 10th box, or the next box in your turn.
Because the pin sweep always wins.
That's right. You picked that up from me, huh? All right.
I plagiarized shamelessly.
Nothing wrong with that. Good ideas are good ideas, I think. And look at that nice 9 fill for Colbert.
Sincere imitation and all that. Nice count for Steve.
And a 6 so far, 4 horsemen left for Tom Pelkey. Colbert's looking at the 10 pin. And everybody's a little wood shy right now, and I don't blame them. I think that wood looks good if you stay out of the channel, but
Is it the perfect guide rail? We'll see. First, Steve.
Yep, he's on it. He said the wood didn't mess him up that time.
We got it.
Spare and a spare again.
2 straight.
And Pelkey left the 7 pin. I thought he hit it pretty good. That one piece of wood that's going into the channel now and coming back out had some backspin on it, so it started rolling over to take it, and then it rolled right back.
'Twas not the perfect guardrail.
And you know, that wood does not look very attractive, and it's blocking access to a direct hit on the pin. But it came out of the gutter. He's good with that. Nothing wrong with a 10.
Mark situation currently 4 marks to 1 for Bowlarama. With apologies if I stepped on you. 1 pin
no problem
in the pinning for Stars and Strikes.
Wouldn't be the first time, Greg.
So Bowlarama turning the tide now. That's a 13 pin and bonus ball advantage in their quest to get some match points and keep themselves close to the playoff bubble, or maybe lurch to the right side. One more match after this before the playoffs. Announced start time 3 p.m. Atlantic, 2 p.m. Eastern, possibly later than that.
Okay, McNally came up and put a nice 7 on his spare, and he's got a wobbly 3-pin, but it ain't going to fall.
No 9 drop this time, but good momentum.
Drover a little too full on the head pin and punches out 4 plus a 7-pin, so a spread eagle with a clipped wing.
Yeah, that's going to get him hopping mad.
And a nice spare from McNally. A little light on the head pin, but it took it.
I mean, the right way around is to compete hard on the lanes and be the nicest of friends afterwards.
That's correct.
That's quintessential Candlepin community, and it's why we love this so much.
Even when they're competing, I see teams high-fiving each other or giving each other hugs at times.
Which seems slightly alien to the older generation, depending on who you ask, of course.
Nice strike over in lane 12.
But the energy from a high string is infectious, and I don't fault him one bit.
McNally puts 8 on that. Drover looking for his own mark and throws a great ball at the head pin, and triangle for him. And he's hoping that wood flattens out or gets out of there. I think it's going to get out of there. It's out of play. McNally gets the spare.
How'd that fall? Did he get
did.
object?
He was off a little bit, and I think he just barely touched it. It was kind of a reverse two-pin situation with the left pin in the front of the right pin. All right, Nelson's going down and clearing out that rogue piece of wood.
Drag that logo down.
After this match, I think we're going to enjoy some pastries.
Don't mind if I do. Might devour a ham and cheese sandwich at a Kegler's bar as well.
What are you going to do first?
Well, last night I ate a Wendy's Frosty before and after dinner because I'm just that bizarre.
All right.
Drover missed that triangle, I'm afraid.
He went to the left, and that won't take it usually. And Buddy picks up the 10, so a nice 10 for Drover. And I don't see the name board up here.
I see what happened.
Thank you. Try to remember the first names, but without a prompt, Dan is very likely to goober up somebody's names, and I really don't want to do that. Neely, Kevin Neely. See, now I got the first name I can remember.
Russ Neely.
Russ Neely. See, I goobered it up.
Strike!
Strike for Cooper. David Cooper with a strike. Neely with an interesting leave there. It gives it a good run. And the 7 and 8 stay up. And a 9 box for him. He tried to kick the 8 over to the 7. He kicked it behind the 7. From 60 feet away, that level of precision really isn't that terrible, but it didn't give him the result he wanted. Just slightly off. All right, Neely on lane 14. In the pocket.
Good.
Drops 5.
Good crowd out there on Candlepin Bowling Network. If you like what you're watching, please hit the like button, just that thumbs up button on whatever platform you're maybe watching on. Either way, we greatly appreciate your support just by watching. Thank you.
Cooper's first ball was 8 for a strike fill.
A subscription is not necessary in order to enjoy our videos. Tough break on that. And Neely ends up with a 9, as does Cooper. Yeah. You don't need to subscribe, but it does help you be notified for the future videos, especially if you hit that bell icon on YouTube next to the subscribe button. 2 different platforms, 2 different ways to engage with our content, only slightly, but you're here. You're supporting these great bowlers and supporting us, our ability to connect you with these great bowlers wherever your device may be in the world. So thank you so much.
As well, we very much appreciate the comments and conversation, compliments, questions, comments.
Constructive critiques, we'll take it.
Nelson, the star of game 2, comes in and drops a strike.
His second and his 8th mark overall. A lot of stars and strikes have 8 marks to this point. David Cooper and Stephen Hubbard could say the same at this point. And Steve Colbert, I beg your pardon.
And Adam Soward put a bid on that and is left with 147. And he's pretty aggressive. I bet you he goes for the 1 instead of taking the easy 2. What I tell you, and it rewards him with a 10 box.
It's a good one.
A lot of bowlers would tell you, just take the 2, take a 9 box. But he feels right now every pin is critical. He's going to gamble on getting 7 instead of none.
As a result, pinning is only 2 in favor of stars and strikes in this string. 8 overall for stars and strikes in the match.
Al Nelson gets a late break, 7 on his first ball. Adam Soward, head pin hit, and rewards him with a 4, 5, 6, 10. Nelson, 1, 8, 9. It's makeable, not always easy. There's wood next to the right side of the head pin. He's going to use it. And it worked for him. Spare on strike again. This guy is something else. We have a lot of young fireballers down there, and it's great to see an experienced top bowler come in and just show his stuff. Mark after mark for him.
Bowling talent past and present, and very often in the same person, as we've seen throughout this tournament.
And there's several father-son teams down here.
Sowards for a start. Yeah, it was a tough one for Adam. He actually, I think it was a full to crossover hit, which resulted in that bizarre configuration he had.
Oh yeah,
Pinning it out for 9 is a good result.
He did well on that. If he was on my team, I'd be happy with him for that.
You get some high fives.
So Hubbard is on a fill. So Royce drops 5 with his first ball, and has what we call the Coleary in the Massachusetts area.
Really 6?
Yep, head pin hit and a split. All right, so Royce just picks up the 2 and the 9. Now Hubbard is looking at the 4, 7, 9, and Wood that needs to spin around. Okay, gets 2. He sent something over there, but went over the top of it, I think.
Yeah.
And Sir Royce getting aggressive himself and trying to take all 3.
May have bounced in the pin setter carousel that carts the pins away. Once it's in there, it's pretty much a goner.
10 box for Sir Royce, or for Hubbard, and a 7 box for Sir Royce.
It may not have. I may have misseen that.
Box 4 for both bowlers. And Sir Royce in the left pocket. Brooklyn side, they'd call that, in 10 pin. And an 8 drop. And look at that setup. I don't think for that split, he has the 3-7. He's got a piece of wood pointed right at the 7 pin. And another piece of wood in front of the 3. I think this goes. Hubbard, in the meantime, took out 5. Look at this. Look, I told you. Even I can make that shot. You don't want to count on it because we see stranger things happen, but I thought that was a great piece of luck for
Good shot. And
Hubbard.
after Nelson drops the dime on his strike, and with that spare, I think Stars and Strikes is likely advantaged.
8 box for Hubbard.
Yep. Remember those yellow blots on your screen between total and game indicating marks still to fill, still open in the Canadian sense. 3-1, so this 2-pin string lead could also swing Stars and Strikes' way, and if that holds, this could be an 8-0 and a devastating 0-8 for Bowlarama, who came into this still with playoff aspirations.
Tom Pelkey off the head pin. Stephen Colbert is on a fill and drops 8 on his fill, but he's got an interesting leaf here. It looks like the 6 and 8 with wood in between.
And what
Pelkey just picked up 1. It looks like, oh, he goes through the hole.
And what a great story for this Stars and Strikes team, who had a shocking start to the competition and are proving big time that they do belong as a franchise on the world stage.
Okay, open box is for both, and that's a 7.
I show 8.
8, okay. 8 for Tom Pelkey and a 9 for Steve Colbert.
I'll check next box, of course.
Tom Pelkey on the right, and there's a strike. No doubt about that one.
His
Came in on the pocket.
4 strikes for Pelkey.
No tricks. And Steve Colbert's on the 2-pin, takes out the 2, the 5, and the 8. Okay, and Pelkey picked up some of that, or Colbert picked up some of that on his ball, but ends up with a disappointing 6 box. Bowlers don't like to see that. And with the completion of those boxes through the 5th bowler, Greg's going to verify his scoring. We're not the official scorekeepers, as we mentioned before, but we like to be accurate. And we can't really read the score sheet, even though it's projected up there for us. So We're keeping our own score, not counting on what we see. Stevie Allen, I'm sorry. Glad to see you here. From California, former candlepin bowler you mentioned. It's great to see this stuff, isn't it? This is the best of the best bowlers. So McNally drops 8 on his spare fill. And we're looking at Chris Drover again. And great bid on that. He had a punch out and just about took it all. But the 7-10 stay up, and the 6 and 7 are up for McNally for his spare attempt. Nope, just picks a 1. Good bid, though. Nothing to be ashamed of there. He gave it a run. That's not an easy shot ever. And he gets a 10. Drover picks up a 9.
Is that right? I'm trying to figure out. Did someone go a shot ahead?
Yeah, McNally went ahead. He jumped ahead. So usually in candlepin, the right side bowler has the right of way. So in most competition, they'll go right to left. But McNally went ahead. I think Drover waved him past. He was waiting for some wood to set down. Said, "Go ahead."
Thank you.
Drover with a nice head pin hit. Broke up his split. McNally on the head pin too. And the guys have matching leaves. Both dropped 8. And they both have the 6 and 10. A little bit different wood setup for each of them.
Yeah, I like McNally's wood setup on the left better.
I do, but I think Drover's is makeable. And he went wide on the wood, tried to take something out of the gutter, and I probably would have been more out to the pin and McNally's was a spare.
4 marks. Yeah, Drover just needed a little more mustard, I guess, the way he hit the pin.
Now that wood's not very attractive. Got to keep it out of the channel. And that's in the channel. I believe that's a 9 box.
That's what I show as well, so 54.
Okay, David Cooper on your right.
Pin too low for David Cooper. He's at 45 through 4. All other scores I show is correct.
All right.
All scores on your screen are unofficial until announced otherwise, like now.
So our Canadian Bowlarama team has 6 more pins as Cooper drops 6. McNeely from the main team, Stars and Strikes, drops 4. No spare for Cooper. And a spare for Neely Jr. That was awesome.
Was that a 3-1-1? All the smudges up now.
Yeah, that was. That was nicely done, too. Got everything to go.
10 box I see completed for Cooper.
Yep, Cooper picks up a nice 10.
Head pin 3rd time round. 5 marks to none. Uh-oh, Stars and Strikes is about to deluge.
Head pin hit for Cooper, 2 full. Ends up with a 3 and 2 split. McNeely with his spare fill puts a strike on spare, and here we go with the Stars and Strikes team again. They are just producing mark after mark after mark.
They had a shocking start with no match points on the early going, but hard to see why, considering they're firing on all cylinders at the current moment. Much to the chagrin of Bayers Road, who clearly have the talented pieces, and now suddenly they're not able to put it together at this current moment. The marks just aren't coming.
That was an 8 box for Cooper.
Although a couple of times there were moments such as those double strike that came for Pelkey and yet twice went begging for Bowlarama. They aren't far off.
Nelson coming up on a spare. We saw Sauer drop 7. Oh, a punch out for Al Nelson. Just a 2 fill.
Well, 1 mark fizzled.
And Sauer did not pick up the mark on that, so Let's see what Nelson does with a half Worcester leave. And he's cutting it on the inside, and just a little light. Does not carry, but that's how a lot of bowlers make that. I usually make it when I do that too. 9 box for Soward. And a 7 box for Nelson.
Surprising for Soward not to get the chance on that the spare make on that 3-pinner, but had a couple of splits as well to set him back.
Very good hit for Soward, but
make it
a
3.
split. Look at this. Here comes Nelson again. All right, he put a good ball on that one, and he's ends up with a 4-6 split and some wood in between. Soward shooting at the, well, he's trying to take the wood into the 5 and the 7 and 9, but only picks up the 9. So let's see what the experienced pro does here with this. With a 4-6, I think the wood may help him. I'm not sure if it's quite covering. I'm saying go for the 6-pin and a little bit of that wood, and maybe that'll go. Is that what he's doing? What he's doing, and not quite going to make it, but he put a good bid on that.
A fine shot selection. The wood looked a little deep, but got to play the best chance with the cards you're dealt.
That's right. You don't get to move the wood into a more favorable position. So a 9 box for Soward, and looks like a 10 box for Nelson. Nice. So no marks for Nelson that time, but you don't get them every 2 boxes. All right, I can't get onto YouTube.
I can see it.
Okay, so you can see the comments on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'll monitor Facebook then.
Got Stephen and Wayne saying hi. And of course, our very helpful friends who've already helped us out with Bowlarama substitutions. Many thanks.
All right. Stephen Hubbard on your right took out just 3 in that first ball. He was off on the 3-pin. And Royce on your left went through the 3-9 hole and also got the 7. Good bid by Hubbard, just off. Royce trying to play that on the inside too.
Yeah, it's the second mark that vaporized for Stars and Strikes. They don't have that cushy a lead if they're not careful. Still plenty of boxes left. But this is a tough out. 5 versus 7. Couple of times.
5 for Hubbard, 7 for Royce.
That's it. You see it there. So that's only a 2-pin gain despite the 5 box. 4 Stars and Strikes. Still, Pelkey and Neely's marks are strikes, so you expect those to be big. So I still anticipate a major advantage for Stars and Strikes.
All right, so you got the 5 box for Hubbard and the 7 box for Royce. Okay, good.
Roger, Daniel. That's Dan Castle. I'm Greg Gouillart. Joined by Paul Grant frequently throughout.
And, well, both bowlers have a 9 drop. Hubbard's got the 7 and a piece of wood that must come in play somehow unless he goes and tries for the wood, and he doesn't. And off. Oh, look at that. He capped the wood, came over, bounced off another piece of wood, and came out and took it. And Royce going to get a gift. No presents today.
That pin was there.
Okay, got to go straight at it. Like he does this time, no problem. Spare for Hubbard, 10 box for Royce.
So still a major advantage for Stars and Strikes.
They're open on 3 marks, where the Bowlarama guys are open on 1.
That's right. I wouldn't say they're keeping the foot on the gas, but they are way ahead.
All right, a head pin hit for Hubbard.
Stephen wanted that back.
Colbert, I'm sorry, for Colbert. And,
oh, yeah, that's right, that's right.
Swap
So
out
Steve.
ahead, otherwise I'll goof it up even more. Pelkey on his first ball and a strike. Nets 4.
How can I forget Steve? He was notable in the singles competition on Monday.
Sure was.
Look at that's
Wow, the 7 just didn't get touched by anything, but you cut it well. Pelkey was 7 in his strike.
a fine fill.
And Colbert bouncing that ball all over. It's not in play. Both bowlers with 9 boxes.
Good safe way out.
And
let's turn it over to Paul Grant for some more updates, if that's all right. Paul, it's straight over to you. Please speak directly into the microphone, angle it to your face, and go ahead.
Okay, we have a lot of developments going on here at Moncton and Fairlanes World Tournament. We'll give you the scores first of all and the standing updates afterwards. Academy Lanes continues a great run, 24-0 yesterday, 4-0 after the first 2 strings over Outlaw Rides, up 59 in the match. Able Construction, Team USA, 2 points apiece. Able up 7 in the match, coming in the 3rd string. Other action, Fenway Academy now wins their first string today, 2-2 against Fenway Academy. Fenway Academy 2-2 against 2.64. Fenway up 32. Chris Merrill just threw a 140 for Fenway. Unbelievable Lanes won the first, lost the second. Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike 6 coming in, fighting for their playoff lives. Unbelievable, up 1 in the match. Coming in, Freddie Toffelmeyer throws a 157 for an unbelievable performance for Unbelievable Lanes. TBD Bowlarama, Central Park Lanes 2-2. TBD up by 7 after 2. Massachusetts team killing Avon Valley Lanes. Up 4-0, a triple-digit lead. Joey Lister, a 141. Aaron St. Cyr has a 129, a 136 through a triple strike in the 3rd. He's at 114 through 6, the rock star. Other action, Spike's Chimney Services upset. 3rd from the bottom, 4-0 on the Hatcheman. Up 54 in the match. Prosperity you will see next with Spike Chimney Services. Golden Ball Mafia up 4-0, up by 31 in the match. A+ Accounting up 4-0 on Harry's All-Stars. Jay Cook at a 148 in the first. Other scores in just a moment.
Thanks so much, Paul. That's right, we'll keep the microphone there. Current statistics in the match, 10 marks to 6. A couple of missed singles for Stars and Strikes, but still maintaining an advantage.
McNally here's on a spare, and he puts 7 on it. And Drover with a 6 drop. 2-4-6-10. 2-4-6-10 on that. And makeable. McNally just picks up 1 more. Drover looking to get a mark out of this, and he does. A little bit full on a pin, I thought, but it went, and it went well.
That's not going to go. It's an 8-box.
8-box for
Brian
McNally.
Heffman just got a triple strike for TBD Bowlarama, put $5 Canadian money, but Canadian puts for cancer. Other scores, Oakland Park against New England Flooring. New England Flooring ties up 2 points apiece. They're up 29 in the match. Nate Lee's had a 141 earlier. Maria Subs losing to Kingswood Bulletproof. Kingswood now moving up into 4th place. They're up 74 in the match, up 4-0. Corey Smith, 134. Devin Brooks, 138. Sean Duthright for Kingswood Bulletproof, 135. Combined for a 407. They're up 4-0 and looking good for a playoff spot. We'll go over the standings after this next box.
All right, first ball. And
That's fixed. I've got the fills backwards somehow.
Okay, and
excuse me.
it's all right. McNally had 4 in a spare. Drover with a spare.
That's McNally's spare. I've got it straight
Yep.
now. So sorry.
McNally, I'm sorry, I'm backwards again. All right, and Drover had the fill and ends up with a 9 or a 10, depending on how this outcome of this ball. 9-box for Drover.
77 through 8. Paul, any more updates to share?
Updates first to the left side. We'll do the right side after. It's left side. Academy Lanes now in first place, sole possession by 1 point, 58 points. Fenway Academy now second at 57. Able Construction third at 50. Outlaw Rides in 4th at 40. Right behind MH with 39. And they're winning big in the total. Lucky Strike on the outside with Unbelievable Lanes. 3 points out with 36. Team 2.64, 35 points. Team USA 34. Central Park on life support with 28. TBD 26. We'll do the other side just a moment.
So that's a spare for Neely, I believe, correct?
Neely on a strike.
Did he? Okay, how did I miss that?
There's two smudge. There's definitely two smudges up there
Okay.
because we've overlaid American notation on that overhead projector.
All right, so 4 in his first fill ball then. Cooper dropped 9 nicely. And a 7 fill for Neely.
Coming up,
Spare for Cooper.
72 through 6. Careful where you go with that microphone, please. Just want to make sure you don't yank a cable or something. That's all.
Knock a camera down, things like that. That could happen.
We got a mark up? Yes.
Got a mark from Cooper. You didn't hear me yell?
Nope, didn't. There's $7.
$7 for Neely. Okay.
Which brings him up to 79 through 7. Thank you, Paul. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. The right side now. Big changes here. A+ accounting in sole possession. Big triple-digit lead in pinfall for Maria Subs. Maria Subs drops the first 2. A+ wins the first 2. A+ in first place. 58 points. Maria Subs second at 56. 2 behind. The Hatchmen lost their first 2 to Spike's Chimney Services. We'll see Spike's next against Prosperity U. They're at 48 points in third. New England Flooring drops to 5th. Kingswood Bulletproof in 4th at 47. New England Flooring 5th at 46. On the outside looking in, Bowlarama losing 2 here at 42. Ball Mafia winning 2 at 42. Prosperity U on life support.
Thank you, Paul. Neely converts that single pin for his mark.
Cooper with 8 on his fill. You got that?
Sure did. How about the split?
And did not pick up the split. That went behind the 5 pin. $9 for Cooper.
Only missed the head pin. No, he's got more on the head pin than not. 5 out of 8. Striking a spare is a good result. Now on an Adam Sauer if lineup holds.
Here we see Nelson on the right. Nelson with his first ball. Nice pocket hit, gets a diamond. And
there it is.
Sauer.
There it is.
Predicting
We're all over that.
We're predicting a spare here.
Mike Jake's telling you what's left.
The diamond. And both bowlers open. Or that's how we say it in the U.S. And I guess the Canadians would say markless or something.
Yeah.
Nice 10 box by Al Nelson.
There it is.
And a nice 10 box by his opponent, Adam Sauer. 10s are good.
Thanks, Wayne, for that. For all you can see the yellow dots on your screen indicate open marks in the Canadian sense. 1 mark open apiece on each side, still to fill. So it's 28 pins for stars and strikes, ball up each side.
Al Nelson off the head pin to the left. Adam Sauer on the head pin. So you hit the head pin, you get a split. You don't hit the head pin, you get 4 in a row. Because that is the leaves. Sauer with a 6, 7, 10. Nelson with a 4 horseman right, and he misses it all. Ooh. And Sauer puts a great bid on that, and the pin flew over behind the 7, didn't pick it up. Tried to cut the 6, 10. Did cut the 6, 10. Nelson trying to pick up something out of this 4 horseman. He gets them all off the wall with the last one. 10 box for both bowlers again. So 10 and 10 and 10 and 10. Good pinning. The best you can do is to get 10s. Fourth bowlers. Hubbard on your left. He's on a fill. Soroyce is a 57 after 6. 58 in the ball for Hubbard right now. So we'll see Soroyce first. And not too bad with that. An 8 drop for him, 5 and 7. Hubbard on a fill. He's on a 3 pin, takes out 5.
Understood. 63 through 6.
no spare for Soroyce on it. Just the 7-pin goes.
Yeah, see, Royce had the wood slightly in front, but it was just covering nothing useful. Too bad.
All right, Hubbard takes the left 3 and leaves the 1-pin and the 9-pin.
Good sticks, though. Pinning is 8 in favor of Stars and Strikes.
10 bucks for Soroyce. Hubbard trying to pick up 1 or 2 here. What's he get? Gets just 1, so a 9 bucks.
Stars and Strikes stacking up a lot of 10 boxes. That's starting to add up. Sometimes slower than you'd like against 9 boxes, but if the pinning falters any more than that, that can really start tipping the scales in a hurry.
Okay, an 8 drop for Soroyce. The 4 and the 8 are left.
When you get in the spares, it stacks up 6 at a time, of course, so nothing a spare can't repair, I suppose, if you're getting 9s versus 10. That's why I always say 9s are fine.
Slow motion fall with that gentle hit. Only 2 down.
But we have seen a 1-pin thriller. Then you'll be sorry.
10 bucks for Hubbard. Or for spare for Soroyce, I'm sorry.
You lose by 1 pin, you start thinking about every frame immediately.
Well, hang on, let's get the bowler straight here first. That was Tom Pelkey. No, it wasn't. All right. Pelkey's coming up.
Yep.
And Hubbard does not get a spare. He's got a 10-box ball to throw.
And a 9-box for 81 through 8. We could go over marching order to the next match after. We got time. Looking at the flow, I believe our match is ahead of others, so we'll have some buffer time at that point. 5th bowlers, Tom Pelkey and Steve Colbert.
Pelkey on your right, Colbert on the left.
Which means, folks, of course, that our stream will go off and then just go on whenever the next match may start. So please remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon on YouTube, the bell icon next to the subscribe button if you haven't already, so that you're notified when we go live. And you always are notified when World's action continues here in Moncton, New Brunswick, Fairlanes Bowling Center. On 7-10.
Trying to see. Yep, that is a head pin. I was afraid it was a 5. Pelkey on the spare bid. No going. Okay. Little tiny bit full on that for Colbert, but a good bid regardless. He did send the ball to the right and the pin to the left, but they didn't go shallow enough.
Another 10. I don't think Stars and Strikes have lost a pin in an eternity.
9 box for Colbert. And a pin in the channel.
Yeah, that.
And that
Neely
takes
got
out the 10, but that
Neely got a
count.
7 box. The second position bowler got a 7 box. Since then, it's been pin perfect. Spare before that, 8 box before that. 10s. See as many 10s as Tim Hortons around here. Looking at that score sheet. They're everywhere.
Okay, off on the 3-pin for Pelkey, and he just drops
What
6.
the heck?
What is this? This is a 3, 7, 8, 10, and there's wood over by the 3, and I think that gives him a chance to make this. So, first Tom Pelkey has to throw a ball against 5 pins. Okay, the 1, 2, 8, 6, 10, and misses it all. Look at it, he's using the wood. Okay, didn't work. Good read. But Pelkey's got a bit of a pickle here because he still has 5 to go after getting nothing on the second ball. And plays it light and gets a 7 box. Colbert's got the 7 and the 8 left up to make for a 10, and see how aggressive he gets here on it. He's going to just take the 7. Right thing to do. Don't lose 2, lose 1. And he picked up a couple pins anyway after his opponent's out. So after the 5th bowler's bowled, you can see the updates on the screen. In the game, Stars and Strikes has a 24-pin lead so far and 2 open marks. No open marks for the Bowlarama team. 79 pin lead in total. Unofficially, Greg's checking his scores. And we started with the first bowlers coming up. Drover on your right, McNally on your left. Drover dropped out 6. McNally 7. Okay, Drover just picked one more. That was a lemon drop if all the rack was up. And no break.
What?
Well, McNally missed.
Oh, he's looking.
He missed the object pin, but
Yeah, he's looking back here like, did you see that? That ball caromed. That was ridiculous.
okay, an 8-box for Drover. I think he was off a little bit myself. I mean, it probably should have gone anyway, but just the wood just deflected things around. Didn't quite work.
Yep. Best bowling is when you don't have to rely on that pin luck for sure, but come on, that was headed for it.
So an 8 and a 9, Drover and McNally respectively. All right, coming into box 10 for these guys. Drover, he's at 85 after 9, and he takes out 4. McNally's at 123 after 9. A lot of pins there. In fact, that's that whole 32 plus, or most of the, that is the 32 pin lead.
I think I'm too low on Bowlarama side. I will confirm in a second. Obviously, the match result is lopsided at the moment. For now.
Hey, both bowlers missed their spare attempts, and Drover's looking for a 10. Really would like to mark out in the 10th, but doesn't happen for him. So he's going to have to settle for, at best, a 10 box. And he ends up with an 8 box. Well, hold it here. We have one pin coming down. So,
and?
Okay, nope, that got blocked by the wood, so a 9 box. He thought he had an 8, but he had a 9. And an 8 box for McNally for a nice 131 string.
Very good. 5 spare.
Despite some of the frustration with that string. David Cooper coming up on your right, and Russ Neely Jr. on your left.
Oh, interesting. I think I've seen where this happened.
All right, we off a little bit here?
I think I see why.
Right,
I think
put
my
me
math.
on my second
I
bowlers.
think my math was right, but David Cooper's at 90 through 8. I think there was a little smudge on the score sheet that may have confused the addition, if I'm honest. But that is where the scoring stands.
All right, so
it is not our place to correct, of course. What goes on the projector stays on the projector, and that is their business. And I could be mistaken.
so you have Cooper at 90 after 8.
That's the official score. All else is correct.
Okay, good deal. And so Stars and Strikes.
2 pins higher than I had it. Gone.
Okay, nice spare for Neely. That was not easy with the way that wood was set up.
And excuse me, he was on a spare, and I did not mark the smudge. So
9.
9 and another.
Yep, that's correct.
There we go. 2 spares open. None on
And you got the
Bowlarama side. That is certain.
and you got Cooper, right?
Cooper had a
9 box, I believe.
thank you.
That's where the error can enter in, is if I'm wrong on something like that.
Nope, that's 99 through 9. You're absolutely correct.
Cooper.
Got my attention drawn 2 ways. That's
Yeah.
easy to do.
Well, we've all been getting that. A lot of different interruptions. And
Now I can stay here and watch the match with you.
all right, thank you, Greg. I like that. Cooper drops 5. Neely puts 5 in his fill, right, or 4.
I see 4. That's the
Yep.
Chester Cove leave. We saw DC on our broadcast earlier with the hatchetman.
Yep. Cooper misses his spare attempt, and he's going to try to close out with a 10 if he can get it. And he does, nice and neat. Neely with an 8 box to close out. So Cooper ends up with a 109. Neely with a 120. So the first 2 bowlers have commanding leads over their opponents for the Stars and Strikes team. Now Nelson's coming up with 2 boxes to go versus Soward. They're at 86 and 79 respectively. This is Adam Soward.
Yes, math is right.
Adam Soward's first ball on the head pin. He's going to get another one and another one, but not the 10. So a 9 drop for him.
Yeah.
Much better opportunity. Just has one pin to shoot at. Nelson with his first ball. Looks like he's in the pocket. No strike. Good ball. Soward capitalizes on that opportunity and puts a spare in the ninth.
By the way, Steve Colbert's score I had too low. That was what I meant to say.
Oh, Al Nelson goes wide. Doesn't get his triangle.
Now this is interesting. I'll get to something funny in a second here as we watch Nelson's third ball, if I understand. Triangle taken out. That'll be
a 10.
A 10. Second time lucky. I have the names written for Bowlarama. In order for Chris Trover, he's written as Sneezy. David's got Dopey. Adam Soward's written as Goofy. Steve Hubbard's written as Sleepy. And Steve Colbert's written as Frosty, which I definitely don't recall from the original, but there you go.
All right. They ran out of names. 6.
There are more than 4 dwarves, I thought. Last I checked.
6 in the fill for Soward. And no spare in the 10th for him.
Unless the story changed over the border, but I don't think so. But who wants to be called Sneezy or Grumpy anyway? Or Doc? That's the other 3.
Oh, great bid on that for Nelson, but
Oof.
he will not have a spare in the 10th. A 9 box for Soward puts him in 104 to finish.
Tough break, but when you miss the head pin first, you reap the consequences.
Well, hitting the head pin is not always the best thing either. 9 box for Nelson, 105.
9's fine, 105.
Picked up a pin for the Stars and Strikes team.
What a great run for the Maine faction out of the state of Maine.
All right, the Canadians are coming and the Americans are coming into their 4th box for the Canadian Bowlarama team. We have Stephen Hubbard. Just threw a ball, a nice ball.
Ooh.
We're going to have a late strike. We are not this time, but a nice 9 drop. And the main team, Steven Sirois. Did I just see a gesture at the pins?
I had my head down. Uh-oh.
Okay. I don't know. And a spare for Hubbard. And just a 2-pin for Sirois.
Stephen Hubbard has 10 marks. That's best for the Bowlarama team.
Good for the 10. And gets a 1 out of that, so he ends up with an 8.
Best on the Stars that Strike faction is Russ Neely Jr., who has 12 marks. Boo.
Bad gutter ball.
We'll hit the red light and try that again.
I don't get mad when my teammates do that because if they're bad at throwing gutter balls, that's a good thing. Don't want them to be too sharp at that.
I'm great at throwing gutter balls.
I get them during warm-up a lot of times until I get settled in. And if I don't get to warm up before a match, then those first few boxes are dicey.
Don't forget another match starting soon, as soon as all the matches finish up.
And Hubbard put 6 on that, Phil.
Here in this penultimate round-robin matchup, 6 fill for Hubbard.
Good try. So Royce looking at the 4 horsemen plus the 9. And he will not have a spare in the 10th either. So relatively low scores for these 2 guys. Hubbard with the 7-pin advantage at the moment, and that's a 10. And a 10 box for Sirois as that pin came off the wall and took out the 9. So 100 for Royce and 107 for Hubbard.
Going down the stretch, 14 marks to 10 for Stars and Strikes. Pinning is 4 in their favor. It's really the bonus balls that are making the biggest difference with those extra marks.
I think the game is out of reach right now for Bowlarama. Total certainly is.
I show Adam Sauer as having missed the headpin only twice in that whole string, and yet only came away with 2 marks. Tough one. A lot of, maybe some makeable chances, but some splits mixed in for sure.
Colbert dropped a nice 9. Solid hit. Pelkey with 5. And a spare for Colbert.
Chris Drover only missed the headpin 3 times.
Oh, come on. All right. So Pelkey will not have a spare in the 9th box.
Best headpin accuracy, have Kevin McNally as 8 for 10 on the headpin, and he raked big with that 131. Tip.
And there we go. 10 box for Pelkey for his 9th box. Okay, Colbert is on a fill. Nice fill, left pocket. 8 in the fill.
Sure is.
And a spread eagle for Tom Pelkey.
That's mathematical. The string is decided.
As is its match.
And the match, it is an 8-0 blowout for Stars and Strikes. Congratulations on solid bowling throughout.
Okay, Colbert does not get a spare. Didn't matter, but he wanted it for bragging rights. And Pelkey walks off the line. No, he doesn't. I thought he was going to walk off after 2. He didn't.
Handshake starting to break out here.
10 box for Colbert for 118 string. And Tom Pelkey, uncharacteristically, will be under 100 with that 98. So we'll wrap up the scores here for us, Greg. Thank you for joining us for this string. This is Dan Castle, and I'll be back.
Sounds good. I'll take your levels out and explain to the folks that it's an 8-0 win for Stars and Strikes. 2 match points for each string and 2 for total. They took it all. The team off to the rough start with an amazing win here against the bubble team Bowlarama Bayers Road, who now have 1 match left after that setback. Here's the totals on your screen as well. Remember, asterisks indicated the substituted spots. There were slots 2 and 3 were changed out by Bowlarama. All else you see should be for the player concerned. So Russ Neely Jr. 363 and Tom Pelkey 360. Steve Colbert anchoring well with a 351, but it was a decisive victory. And with that, we will cut the stream for now, but another stream starting soon. Please like and follow Candlepin Bowling Network on Facebook and on YouTube by subscribing. On behalf of Dan Castle, Paul Grant, and Bob Lee, my name is Greg Gouillart. Thank you so much for watching this presentation of Candlepin Bowling Network and the International Candlepin Championship, and we'll be back very, very soon. So long for now.